Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of the GET podcast. And today we're going to be discussing about how video games over time they've connected all of us through the people we've met while playing and such things like that, and different communities we come across. Now, I know this week we were supposed to do the music and video games topic, but due to scheduling issues that we had with one of our guests tonight, we had to switch around the two topics for this week and for July 9th. So we're going to be talking about how games connect us this week. And for this pre-recorded episode, we're going to have it split into two parts. So for the first part, we're going to have one guest for it, and then on the next part, they won't be here for this. So we have two guests tonight. We have Ant to return for this time, and we have
Hello.
and we have a new guest. We have Skitch joining us. Skitch, would you like to
Hello.
introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Skitch. I also go by Jasper on YouTube. I make game review videos. Some people would call it just things to point and laugh at, but I like to think that there's some merit to it. And I also want to touch on real quick that the whole you couldn't do the music podcast tonight. That actually worked out because I'm deaf, so I can't even hear it all. So yeah,
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
it turned out to be a happy little accident.
Stop, jeez.
He's not wrong though.
Oh my.
Sweet.
Where's my minus button?
Well, that's a brilliant start.
Hey Paul, can you invite me by the,
Oh,
by
it
the way?
actually
Yeah,
did.
just
Invite
Oh,
me.
yeah, never got
Okay,
it.
I'm
Got it.
coming in.
We're good.
All right,
We're,
everyone's in.
we're good.
Who is your guy dressed as?
Virgil from DMC3.
Oh.
Oh, don't leak. Why is my sensitivity so high? This is disgusting.
Can you
Oh.
send me a? Wait, can you send the invite one more time? I missed it.
You missed it.
Oh no, wait, I just went through this. Okay, we're good.
All right, so the first thing I want to talk about with this episode, with how games have connected us, like people we met. I think one great example is how me and you, Skitch, how we met.
Via one of the oldest games ever created
Yeah,
on PC.
we met on TF2. Like when did we meet? It was like 2017. I don't even remember. It was a while ago, right?
I started playing. Well, I guess long story short, I played TF2 on Xbox 360 in like 2007. Had a total blast on it. I didn't even find out until years later. This is how inside of a non PC bubble I was. I was like, Team Fortress 2 is on computers and it's free. That's amazing. I want to try it. So I did, and then I think I started playing 2015, 2016. So yeah, I want to say I met you probably around 2016, 2017. That sounds correct.
I think
Ish.
I think so. Yeah, I remember it was after I stopped playing Dota for a little bit, and I went to go play more TF2.
You
That-
switched your Dota addiction for a not as cool looking addiction. I don't know how your listeners would feel about that.
Cause I remember the way we met. What was it? We were just playing like heavy and medic. You were medic. I was just playing heavy, and then what was it? We were just playing the whole time. You stayed on me the whole game, and then afterwards you were like, "Oh, you want to join us? You want to play more?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll play more with your party."
Yeah, I think we were playing on Dust Bowl, which if there's anyone listening to this who you guys met on Dust Bowl, what's wrong with you guys? Yeah, I'm a Dust Bowl fan. You gotta take your good qualities and bad qualities and just embrace them all. But whenever I would play TF2, if I didn't either have a full party or if I wasn't playing with friends, if I was ever in a pub or a casual game and I found there was someone really good, I would try to team up with them in game, and you were playing heavy and I was playing medic. I was just trying to stay on you because I saw that you were DMing real good and you were doing the objective well. I was like, I forget what your name was on Steam at the time. It was Sal something,
It was
and
just
you had
it was just Sal back then. It was just straight up Sal.
yeah, and I was like, this Sal guy, he's pretty cool, he's pretty good. And then I just added you, and then we just became homies, and I integrated you with my group of homies I met via TF2, which is spanned across every state of the United States. I got TF2 homies in Michigan, I got TF2 homies in Kansas, Minnesota, probably any American state you can think of. I have TF2 friend in there, except for Alaska. I don't know if Alaska has internet or not.
Yeah, and you're not even from America. You're from Canada. That's the crazy
Yeah,
part.
am I actually the only Canadian like in this call right now?
Yeah, you're the only
Yes, most likely.
what was it? The only other person I know that like has Canadian friends is you, John. You have some league friends, right? That are Canadian? From
Yeah, I met a couple of people
My
online.
friend Michaela's from Canada.
Canada. Honestly, I met a lot of people playing League though. I mean,
I
and
have a friend from Canada
definitely
too, so you're not alone.
even some
Aw.
people that weren't from the United States and Canada, which are just they were just people that were trying to play on the North America servers, so they were playing at like 140 ping, and they were from like Europe or like some other region. Like for them, it's hard because like in that game, especially too, like skill shots and everything, they don't come out like fast in like 140 ping, right? Everything's very delayed. So like when you're playing in like very hectic fights, it's like all very like anything can happen. That's why like being at like very low ping like helps you like in a game like that. And that's why like I think like the professionals play at like zero ping servers or whatever the case might be. Like if they're in like the studio playing on stage, like it's actually a bit different. Like when they're playing at zero ping compared to like 30 or 40 ping, and like across, you know, like from like their like team stadium like area they have like where they practice.
yeah.
So it's pretty interesting.
My from what I've like experienced over the years as like a Canadian exclusively playing on like American provided servers via whatever game it is, my ping hasn't really like ever been that bad. Like even when I play TF2, I when I play TF2, I think I get put in like Virginia servers, and I'm not anywhere near Virginia, I think. And I usually get like 7 ping. It's kind of insane. And my internet's only 50/50. It's not even that good. So I don't know how they do it, but they're doing a good job over there at Valve HQ.
Yeah, I get what you mean by that. I think it's because you're more on the eastern side, right? You're Ontario, somewhere
Yeah,
like that.
I'm in Ontario, Canada, which is like about as South Canada as you can get. Like if I drive from my house right now, I could probably enter Buffalo like within an hour.
Yeah, you're like right near the border.
Yeah. I'm barely not American via location alone. And thank God, am I right? No, I'm just joking.
Because John, do you know where your Canadian friends are from? Maybe that's one reason.
Honestly, I'm not even so sure. Honestly, I never really I never really got like that far to asking where they are, but I want to say like they were definitely in like I'm trying to think exactly the area that like it might be. I could say Toronto, but like I don't think that's
Toronto is in Ontario. Toronto's like about the same distance as crossing the border would be for me. So that would be really southern Canada, which would be like the bottom of Ontario, pretty much.
yeah.
I
I don't
Also,
remember.
does anyone have food? I'm gonna die of starvation.
I have.
I have apples. Hold
I
on,
have
hold
a
on.
carrot.
I
Let me
have
go over to you.
I have
Carrot.
no.
I'm in the Kayla, I'm in the village, by the way. Look in your map right now.
Wait,
I was just
wait, we have a village? What?
Yeah, right here.
You telling us this now?
Empty
Well,
locator
you guys are
map.
very-
It's not.
You guys don't know
Okay,
your
what-
surroundings very well.
What
yeah,
color are you? You're blue, right?
I'm
Oh no,
white,
you're
I think.
green.
Oh, I am green. Oh, get over here. Oh, get over.
I'm coming to Sal. You better have food prepared because I'm a
I have
guest and you
apples.
must.
I
I
have
I'm
have,
drowning.
apples, dude.
I have a singular carrot. I'm not
I
kidding.
need to use
Please.
the map.
Oh my.
That's
There's
funny.
carrots in
Someone help me.
Minecraft.
Minecraft, by the way. Yeah,
I forgot that there's a map that tells you where people are in the
yes,
Minecraft.
there is a thing. Don't lose
I'm
it.
drowning. Please help me.
What is it? Is
You
that a
gotta
goat?
swim.
Oh, I forgot they added a goat into this game.
Wait,
Right.
what
Well,
if
I'm
you
just gonna
go
leave you
that
guys.
will actually launch you. No, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah,
Why
yeah.
am I not placing this spot?
cause Skitch, we know other people through TF2 in Canada, right? Like Cole, cause isn't Cole in Vancouver across the?
Yeah, Cole. This is just gonna totally confuse everyone. I know Cole through, and so Cole lives in Canada, who I met through another friend who's in Canada, who is like an IRL friend, but Cole is an internet friend of my IRL friend. But like you're friends with Cole, but I don't know if you ever played TF2 with us. That carrot didn't do anything. I'm still gonna die
I'm making you fish. You get fish.
right
You
now.
gotta kill animals.
I'm vegan though.
Well, I don't know what to tell you
You're
then.
vegan.
All right, we
Oh,
need to get a
let's see.
bucket. Get him a
Are
bucket.
you saying I should just live my life more miserably because of the choices I've made?
Yes.
Damn.
I'm just trying to live.
You hate to see it, but sometimes reality bites back. Except when you're vegan, that thing has a chance of biting you.
Are you
Except
actually,
your own
I can't tell
choices.
if you're actually trying to joke around, or like, are you actually vegan?
Sal, I used to be 300 pounds. You don't get that size being vegan.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could. I'd love to see like a
if you
YouTube
try
video.
hard enough, you could be.
You mean eating grass? You mean enough grass? I'll just give you some like what's it called? Some sugar in it.
You just,
So you
here, I
gain
just
weight.
made you there. This is salmon.
Where are you guys? You guys are so slow.
Right
I'm
here.
not
You need
even.
to like.
I
I'm
don't know
not
where-
that
How
far.
do I put a map at like the top of my screen?
And can they
Oh,
I don't-
see how nice my
Kaylin, Kaylin, look at
my
me. Look at me
character
right now.
looks?
Look at me right now.
Yeah,
what
See
are
the
you?
apples.
I'm me.
What's your skin go
That
in?
doesn't.
You've seen me before. This
What?
looks like me, doesn't it?
Right
No.
there.
No
It's
skin
right.
on.
Kaylin, it's right.
Do you
It's
want
right
the
there.
food? It's in here. It's in the furnace.
Your skin.
I'm vegan.
Oh, my skin.
Then,
You
Get
Oh, my
Skin
girl
on.
skin.
Get this
I'm
man.
vegan.
then
Make him
have the
bread.
You have bread
Make
right
him
here.
bread.
Oh, thank you. I ate the
Oh,
chicken. It
there's
was
some
really
pepper
nice,
here.
by the way.
Oh, Paul, what was it? What was the game that we actually started playing as when I first met you? I forgot to ask.
Oh, I don't even remember. I don't even remember because
Was it Minecraft? No, it has to be Minecraft. That was like the only time I remember.
it might have been Minecraft because I met you through Caitlin. I don't know how Caitlin met you.
Yeah. What was it? It was on Twitter. Well,
I
I
drew
talked about Breath of the Wild
Firestar
stuff.
from Warriors, and then he DM'd me.
No, but we also talked about Breath of the Wild too. So I was harassing her about it too, as well.
That's not a
Oh.
good word to use.
Breath of the Wild 2, man. Ooh, baby, I can't wait for that one.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I mean, we're all being forced to wait for it, unfortunately, but it'll be a wait worth waiting.
Are you guys really
Unfortunately,
bad?
we do not have news about Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, that's the bummer part. We don't
I
know
was
much
expecting
about
that
Wild
again.
stuff. Yeah, they're doing
Oh,
the theme jig.
Abandoned Ant.
Yes, they are abandoned.
Oh,
There
guys,
is
there's
cobwebs.
horses here and stuff. There's actually a lot of stuff here.
I have a sword, so
We
it's totally
spawned in
fine.
a good spot. Wait,
Kaylin,
there's some
I
horses.
have witnessed some horrible stuff, so it's fine. Don't worry. I've seen the
I like
Minecraft.
that.
I'm
sorry,
literally
did I
like
just
a
see a
veteran.
creeper in front of our face?
That's not fun.
Have you guys met
But
any
anyways.
other people like across the country or just across the world?
I did. I think it was from not League. What was it called? CS:GO. And there's another. What's it called? Not CS:GO. There's also what's it called? I don't know if anyone knows Day of Infamy, but it's like a World War II game, and that was in
I
a
know Day of
unit.
Infamy.
Yeah. I was in the unit, and I was with a bunch of people from across the world. I know one guy from Germany, including one from Norway, and I think from like Australia too. No, United Kingdom. Yeah, no, it was very diverse unit though. Then we broke off around like 2018, I think.
What was the
Kinda-
guy from Australia playing in the same servers as you?
Yeah, like we were just like I said, we were just the same unit, and we just kind of did our thing, all that, did all our trainings. And it was really fun, but that was like a long time ago, dude.
We were
was fun,
talking
though.
about horrible ping. That guy must have like been playing slideshows with you
Yeah,
guys.
no
Like, good
kidding.
lord.
Well, I don't think so. I think he did actually sometimes. I mean,
You're like, I don't think so. Oh no, yeah, he did. Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
yeah, it was kind of bad, especially when it's like unit matchups, like unit versus unit. Yeah, it was funny to watch.
Oh,
What was it called?
okay,
You wanna-
okay, help.
you
Alright,
wanna-
we got a problem here.
You wanna know what was really surprising? Back when I played Dota, I had people like from across the entire world. I had friends with. What was it? I had 2 from Korea,
Caleb.
Alright, we have a problem.
one from Puerto
We have a
Rico,
problem.
one from Ireland, 2 from
What, why
Texas,
can't it's not letting me eat this.
and 1 from Canada. Like I had them all over. And the crazy thing was the people from Korea
It's not
and
it.
Ireland.
It's not letting
some-
me eat.
Somehow they had
Ow.
no ping problems. I was like, how? You're across the world in entire different time zones. How are you perfectly fine playing?
Yeah, that's kind of. I
I
don't even know what to
think
say about that.
it's-
That's like so.
Especially a game like Dota, like it's so like, skill shot heavy because it's one of those MOBAs. Like, it's very
Mine-
it's very surprising.
My game is lagging.
They have dedicated servers.
They do have dedicated servers for what's it called each region
For what? Dota?
for Dota. Yeah.
But is
Oh.
there like worldwide matchmaking though? That'd be weird. I don't know.
No,
I know nothing about
what was it?
Dota.
I mean, there's a possibility if it was like ever like maybe that low of like a population in the game, they could consider it.
I've never seen it like that. Because they have a US East server, US West, two Canadians. I think they have one or two Canadian servers. I don't know. A South American server, a South Africa server, and then one Australian server, and then a couple of European ones. Not too
Until-
many. I remember one time, what was it? My friends and I on there, we got bored and we were like, what happens if we try to connect to the South American servers? Yeah, the game was actually unplayable. Like, it was,
That's why I don't play regions like that unless your friends aren't able to,
Yeah, it was
which is
it was
not.
like 300 ping. There was no movement. Well, go get some food or something.
Hey, where
Or
are we?
there's
You guys
so
actually
many
ran
of
to
these
like
things.
you guys
Oh,
ran.
am I gonna be the one supporting everybody? Oh no,
I
come
ran
on.
to I ran to the woods to go get stuff.
You gotta give me a while, because I still don't have supplies.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, he's
Alright.
dead.
I was hoping that would
There's
happen.
a cat in here.
Don't worry, I refilled
Yes, there's a
I refilled his
cat.
hunger, guys. It's all,
We don't
it's all
have fish though. Don't hit the cow. You
wait, what
okay.
is that? Wait, okay, they changed the color of the squids now, right? Or whatever they
Don't
changed.
you hit the
They're
cat?
glow squids.
There's
Look
2
at
squids
that.
now.
All right, so then
What
is
this
that?
is
Free
this is
him.
like glow squid in this pond over here. Like,
Doesn't make trap though.
The skeleton's gonna kill me. Oh, never mind.
you're good.
Oh,
I've never seen a glow
Oh,
there you
squid. That's
Yeah, I've
kind of
never seen the
awesome.
glowing one. It looks
Yeah,
pretty
There you
cool.
go.
Yeah, no, they're brand new.
you
They're like-
freed him. Why would you do that? We were supposed to keep him. Alright, we'll have fun
I
with that. I'm
did
just gonna go.
close it, so I don't know why
But,
he was
Uh-huh.
Another thing with the games, you ever see the crazy communities that rise up from just one game where it becomes like a phenomenon?
I think like Minecraft is really good at that.
Yeah, Minecraft was definitely one of the examples.
Yeah,
It's
no,
perfect
Especially
example right there.
server, like every like public server that's out there and available, you can go to. Like
I have beds for all of us.
what's that one server where they made like an anarchy? It's like a little bit like an anarchy server where like every
Dream
2v2T.
SMP.
yeah, the TV2 yeah TV2
The 2v2T, whatever it's called.
Oh.
Like the
Yeah.
most chaotic server in Minecraft, apparently.
Like that was
Especially-
like a very interesting like server that I know came out of like a community, right? There was like some like because people like made that server like destroy it with like community and like creating clans and stuff like within like an
It's
instant.
so toxic, but at the same time, it's one of those communities. Like it's also really cool. It's I don't know how to describe it because I
I
watched
think
somebody
like
give
the
that a
world of what that game
It's
was
a unique
cool,
social experiment.
but it was
Yeah,
the
basically.
social experiment.
Sketch,
of
I'm
what it
going to
was.
die. Don't you dare.
Oh no,
Is
there's a
no one
spider.
following us?
I didn't.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't make a sword.
Caitlin.
Oh my god!
Please.
Oh, yo, what?
I didn't make a sword.
Caitlin, you need food.
Wait,
Oh,
where's the
food.
crafting table? It's like
I
over
can't
here.
believe you killed
Are
me
you
with
guys
a
just
pickaxe.
killing each other
Are
still?
those bees? Are those
Why
I
is
kept
it
I kept trying to give him high fives
Here,
over and over again, but it
Lauren.
kept hurting him for some reason.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a,
Caitlin, we gotta craft stuff. I'm gonna craft furnace right now.
yeah, I hate when
There's
high
a.
we
five
have
I have a
furnace.
furnace.
breaks them and they
It's
die.
over. Oh, what the? Why is there a drowned here? Get over here.
Why is there
Oh,
not?
no, I got it.
You don't know what's one of the craziest communities I've
There you go.
Over
seen?
here in this house.
With like
Oh
with,
my
like,
god! And what is the difficulty on this
it's
world?
normal. It's
This is normal.
yeah, this
There's
is
way too
nighttime.
many.
Nah,
There's
this is.
already a zombie with golden armor, and it's
We
just
just don't have a
like,
bed to go to
We-
sleep in.
yeah,
That's
we-
why
we-
we're.
we just
I have
don't
a bunch of beds
Just
for
put
you
'em
guys
down,
if you
just
actually
put 'em
Oh my god, you
come
scared
here.
me. You scared me, Caitlin. Oh, I don't like that. Oh.
Wait, why don't we just go to the village and sleep? Wait, there's a village right there.
Hold on, wait.
Yes, there's a
Oops, I
village. I
took
told you
all
multiple
the-
times, my dude.
Oops. I actually took all of the beds.
From
You
the
did
village.
I took
Alright, how
all
much
of the
how
beds.
much wood do we have? We need to make
Oh,
this house.
Well,
It's
I
gonna be like
mean,
like the
I'm taking the
original
meat.
style of a house in Minecraft.
You wouldn't.
Where we just place
Yeah,
different
I
blocks.
do. Why?
Just-
I want to make an axe.
What was it? I was about to say
Need
something. I
sticks.
just oh, you want to know? Oh,
There.
John, what are you doing? This looks horrible.
I
Please
need
stop.
sticks.
No, we must build the house.
John, this looks so
Eight
bad.
sticks. Hold on.
No,
There you go. Get the sticks. Take Caitlin. Get the sticks. There.
we're
Um,
going to make
You
this
want-
house. It's going to work.
You want to know what's one of the craziest communities I've ever seen with games with like cosplaying and such? You ever see the Borderlands community? What they make?
Oh, yeah,
the
Borderlands
wigs are
always
amazing.
really good
I'm
at
in
it.
love with the wigs they make. Okay, my game is actually glitching to the point it's not
Like, they
breaking
make the
things down.
shell shading in real life. It's terrifying how good it is.
The powers
mean,
of
yeah.
makeup are OP.
Literally.
I'm able to do it. if I tried, but like it takes a lot of teasing, and then you could probably crimp the wig if you want to make it fluffier,
Yeah, because they don't
and then you use Sharpies and stuff
yeah, because they
or
they do it
Copic
in the
markers.
wigs and everything, and then they'll
Well,
do
yeah,
they put the
what
makeup on
they'll do
themselves
is they'll.
and the clothes. It's crazy.
So here's a hack. You can use Sharpies and Copic markers. Basically anything that's alcohol based, you could use on a wig to dye it because it's synthetic fiber. So it's much easier to dye it than regular hair, which is just a cool fact to know because
I
I've
found a kitten.
done like highlights and stuff with Sharpies.
Kitty.
Did you say candy? What?
No, kitty. I found a kitty.
Are you trying to get the cat?
Yeah. Get over here. I need you.
I don't think what else is there.
Are we gonna make a Minecraft hype house?
Yeah.
Isn't that what?
I approve of this. I call being leader if we do.
Get out of here.
Overthrow.
Because I've done the least amount of work
I
so
found this
far, so
village
that means I
first,
should be the
so
leader.
I'm mayor of this town. I'm the town. They're right here.
I'll be your
Right
local
there.
e-girl. Why are you two just killing each other? You guys are getting no work done.
What do you mean? I'm doing all
Caleb,
the work. We're showing
there,
how games
bro.
are connecting
Look at
us through violence.
Oh, he's like more. Alright. I'll
Those-
just-
Are you
The
like
power of-
asserting dominance or something?
Yes.
The violence is working.
I was trying to mark his territory with my blood.
Oh, this is gonna be a wild episode.
Are you guys not coming to the village? Are you?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even have a map. I don't know where anything is.
How do you not
You
manage
get a
to
map
have
on the start. What are you doing?
No, Sal killed me, and then he's like, "Hey,
Oh,
Skitch,
yeah,
look at
oh,
this."
yeah,
And he
I
threw it in
Oh,
yeah,
lava.
I did take
yeah.
your map. That's right.
He threw it in the lava right in front of me.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
oh,
about?
When I
And
I would have said, oh, I actually would have.
oh, I see a cat. Are you chasing the cat?
Saw it all go down.
It was awful.
Oh, I just saw a Sophie cat somewhere, and there's a baby
Where?
cat.
I want to see a cat. Where's the soap cat? I have my fishing rod now.
The
Or
spider,
are you?
why?
Oh.
The spider, it's daytime.
There's like
Oh.
alchemy stuff here.
You know what's another
Yeah,
thing
so we
with
can
the gaming,
finally
with the
expose
gaming like communities and fan bases? How they have entire cons dedicated to them now.
Yeah, it's true.
Like what
Even
was
like
it?
small games.
Yeah, like,
BlizzardCon?
BlizzardCon is a huge one.
BlizzardCon is huge, but it's also because they have so many different like
Too
IPs
many games.
that they need to address like stuff. Like, all right, like you know when it came to like Diablo, like they had to have an entire like thing for Diablo. Like
So,
that was like a big one. Like they had to like have their own section because like they decided to make an IP that was a phone version of a Diablo clone.
is this an out of season April Fool's joke?
Which
That's one of the best. Like, that's an underrated game meme. That's an underrated game meme.
It's not even like so underrated. It's so sad.
It's
Just
so sad.
it's so sad because that was what came. They literally were like, okay, we have to rush this game out now, and then like tell people that we're gonna like actually release a real game.
That guy had the courage to immediately say what everyone was thinking.
Honestly, that I give that guy so much credit for doing that because it made them like actually have to own up to like a real game instead of trying to have them monetize a game that was gonna come like that was just gonna be the phone market is where we want to go next. It's like
Cameron,
no,
are you
make
taking
a
cats,
real
by the
game
way?
just before you do something like
No,
that.
not.
They were like, "What? We heard people love microtransactions. What do you mean? Is this a joke?"
We
Oh
we
yes,
heard
that was something
Yeah,
they said.
yeah they were like, oh my god, I thought people really liked buying and getting milked for paying for the max level character boost in WoW. It's not like I mean listen I did it but like come on, like everyone was gonna do it.
It's
Like,
the
who-
man himself, the legend.
Who
So
wants to actually like grind in that game? Like, I mean, even though it's like part of the fun, like, people are just like making the end game where it's at, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Honestly, like WoW is a very community-based game mode too. Like,
Oh yeah,
that's
I remember.
that's a
you.
huge one.
Yeah, you mentioned a little bit of this on the WoW episode we had.
Yeah,
Like the
with
entire
original-
clans and such.
Yeah, there's entire guilds, but like every guild can be different, right? There might be guilds that do like PvP out open worlding, right? There's like there might be guilds that do raids together, maybe a big like a mix of both, like a social guild. If you're on like any of like an RP server, you might find like an RP guild, right? There's like all different types of like venues of like where you can go and find your community for,
Yeah.
and kind of meet those people, like whether it's like small guilds where it's like maybe like 25 players and they're only doing like the raid, which means you get like a raid spot now if you're doing TBC content. But or like if it was like back then where you needed like a kind of large guild because it was like 40-man raids were like the thing, and getting 40 people together for one night to do like 8 to 10 bosses or even more is like kind of absurd,
Yeah,
like for
yeah,
what
it's
they had
rough.
back then. But that was how it was back then, like for some people's like first game, so like it was kind of
You're over
interesting.
here.
I mean, that's why a lot of people get dedicated their
Is it-
entire lives to it and everything. You know?
I mean,
That's
yeah,
not my cat.
that's why there's like
Because
entire like esports out of it and
There
stuff
you
now too, like
Yeah.
which is like
what?
Oh,
Yeah,
Blizzard
it's
never
mine.
thought they
okay,
were gonna have
yeah,
It's
esports.
mine.
the raid
Okay.
esports, the speed runs, right?
What
Wasn't
the?
it speed run?
Yeah,
thing?
there's like dungeon speed runs, which is
What's
like
up with your
it's very
face, dude?
interesting because it's usually it's just like
Excuse
okay,
me?
people learn the classes and they just,
Your face is like messed up with your skin, dude.
Whoa.
is he, but isn't he just Steve?
No, you're just Steve.
They're all Steve.
We're
for
all
me.
Steve.
Not
What?
for
Are all
us.
Steve?
Oh, because you guys
Not
are
for
on
me.
console, that's why.
That's funny.
No, you guys were showing up as your skins at first, and now it's
Oh,
okay.
oh,
Now I'm
so I can do
glitching.
it.
Listen,
Oh,
we're all
What
Steve
the-
now. Communities, Overwatch communities is a big one too. Like if we want to talk about Blizzard,
Oh yeah, because they have like the
like
whole...
if you were like saying like okay, like look at like the skit like the cosplays for like Borderlands,
Borderlands. Yeah,
like that's like the Overwatch, because I feel like those like characters, like there's so much of like ways that people can like kind of like create that character from that game with all that personality into it and put it into like the real world,
yeah.
and people really do that well, I feel like. So
Like
I give them
I will
credit.
admit, I don't like Overwatch as much, but I'll give credit to the cosplayers. They do some great stuff.
Yeah,
I was
mean,
one of the cosplayers, and you told me no.
No, you weren't. What are you talking about?
I was gonna cosplay Ash.
isn't she the? Oh, I know who she is.
I thought that sneak dick that I thought that sneak diss of Overwatch was gonna come from a compliment of Paladins, because like we were trying to record this earlier and like you wouldn't stop playing Paladins, and it's like
What are you talking about? You were the one playing Paladins. Get out of here.
Yeah,
me.
there you go.
I was playing Genshin Impact.
Isn't there like a really large community for that game too?
Oh, yeah,
Because
that-
it's
that-
Yeah, and it
that community-
terrifies me.
Yeah, that
Oh,
community is
my God,
rising
you're in the way, bro.
insanely large now.
how
Oh, what
large
is this
it's
thing
talking.
over here? I've never
I don't
seen
even
this.
know.
What is
the
this?
cosplay
Are you guys
market's
gonna
going
beat
up
each
'cause of-
other again? Oh yeah, the
Oh, is that what
cosplays
they're
are
trying to
really
do?
expensive. They're probably about $100 each, and if you're lucky, maybe 80.
Because it's one of those like anime gacha games, so games like that they get popular very fast for many reasons.
Well, it's not just that. They're trying to raise the prices, so it's like supply and demand.
Yeah, that's another part of it.
Like, how much was Lisa? Lisa was like 100. My Eula
Wow,
cosplay
100.
was like 140, and that's without the shoes.
Yeah.
And then you have to make everything because there's a lot of stuff out there that's not made yet.
Hmm.
Like, they're quick to hop on the new characters, but a lot of the stuff isn't made.
Yeah.
So you have to make it yourself. So I wish everyone making that stuff luck because I have to make the shoes. What is this thing?
I found a rock hopper. I don't
Alright,
know
what? Why?
it's a
No,
thing
no, no.
now.
Why?
Oh yeah, they made
Why is this
copper
thing
now.
coming at me? What is this?
What?
What?
I just saw something jump like 50 feet and run at me.
Might be a goat.
Oh,
Oh, it's a
big
goat.
fire
Oh,
thing.
It just trapped itself into the fence. Oh well.
John, do you have more spurse wood?
Can I kill it?
To find how much of Spurs would you
Oh, never mind,
need.
you did it.
Wait,
John, these are not stairs.
What are
This is...
what are
I
you
know.
doing?
They're just
Bruh.
making,
Killed it.
they're just like fake stairs for now.
Alright. I'm just confused.
What do I get
Copper,
from the
I
goat?
get-
Leather?
what?
do you guys ever had like the one
What?
game that your entire like school as growing up would like get connected over or anything?
I
like
think
that?
mine.
Oh, man.
Clash of Clans?
Cool, man.
Oh my god, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I had okay.
Well,
My school had a lot of them. We had a good amount. Like we,
You know,
Well,
like we started with what did we start? We probably started with like COD at first. COD was one of them.
I think COD was always the big one.
Yeah.
I think like COD 4 and like Modern Warfare 2 is like the big ones.
Yeah,
And
once
then, like,
it
Black
get
Ops.
once
The
it got
golden years.
yeah once it got to Modern Warfare 4 where the multiplayer like kicked off, that's when everyone started getting in there. Like it was crazy how many people would play.
NBA 2K and Madden. Or two
Oh
games.
yeah, you know, yeah, a couple of my friend groups really like
I
that.
knew people who played Madden. I never played it myself. I was never into the sports games like that. But I know there were tons of kids in it.
Fortnite was one when we were in high school.
Yeah,
You
but
know what? I've heard that like I think like one of the like the most recent Madden is like kind of like they didn't really do much to it. I think, which
And the NBA 2K.
I can understand like if that's the case, if people don't feel like creating like new additions to the game
Oh.
like that, but like
yeah.
there comes a point I think where it's like you
Well,
gotta
don't
do
they just create the same thing every year?
That's what I thought, right? I thought they just
That's
put
what I
the
thought.
I
same.
don't know
That's what I
how it
thought
works.
too. I
Like,
thought it
It's
was,
just updated rosters pretty much for like the NBA and Madden games and stuff.
Yeah.
basically.
so like if someone goes on another team, they're updated to be on that other team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like there would be like
Okay.
there'd be like a new crop of guys that are like retiring and like rookies coming in, and maybe a
And then
good player
they
is
do new
becoming
stuff.
crappy and a crappy
Well, I
player has become
remember
good or
people
something.
were memeing the cutscene.
Oh yeah, because they made really bad
You remember
cutscenes.
that?
Yeah, I remember that was funny. Now that was really funny.
And which one though?
I think it
I
was.
think it was 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the most recent ones that were like really bad. Trying to think, what are the games? 'Cause, like you said, Clash of Clans. That was one of my school. We made entire clans in the entire
Yeah,
school.
Clash of Clans was really big, and then I remember like near my end of like like senior year or junior year of high school, it was they came out with Clash Royale, and
Okay,
that was
I remember that. It was at the end of high school. That one did not get as popular because you couldn't make like clans and stuff. But
yeah. In the beginning, you couldn't make clans, but then they added that feature now. But like, you know what it was? It was like okay, everyone's playing. Like it's like everyone's like discussing strategies and stuff. Because it's just like one of
Caitlin.
those like those card games where it's like you
What?
need to go like fight the build, like you need to go
What's
destroy
that?
the enemy's like base,
What's this?
but like everything's automated in terms of like stuff. It's like a card game. It's like Hearthstone. There's
Well,
like
here you
mana.
go.
oh yeah,
There's
okay,
three
because there's
beds
like a
in here.
mana system, kind of like Hearthstone, right? Where
Yeah,
What is that mine?
but like if you break a
You
tower,
can
right,
take one
they
if you
lose like a
want.
defensive like
Oh.
I just put
fort,
them in there.
right?
can't-
And they only get like 3 of them.
Well, here's a chest too.
I don't remember. I haven't played that in so long, so I wouldn't know.
You know, it's just like okay, you can like develop your own strategy. Like one of the strategies that people were like, there was like buildings that you could like spawn that would like create units like every couple seconds. So like people were making like their I guess like it's like a deck, right? So like their deck was like keeping their stuff alive and then like swarming you with
what the?
like all these units. So sometimes if you didn't have like any type of build like any if you didn't have a card that can like deal like big AoE to stop these like units that were spawning because like some of them had like they had like a lot of units but no HP. Like you were just kind of like
Oh
screwed.
yeah. Okay, now I remember that. Yeah. It's been a long time. What other games were there? COD was one of the.
Oh.
Yeah, COD, Minecraft, everything, any of like 2K's FIFA, stuff like that.
For
What
me, when I was in high school, like I don't want to say my upbringing was unique because it was being a white kid in a middle class suburb is almost the definition of not unique or the antithesis of whatever. My when I was in high school, I was at like I remember when I started grade 9, like the Wii had I think the Wii just came out when I was in high school. And like the Xbox was like it was new, but it wasn't like super old yet. Of course it's not super old because it's new. Duh. But all the and this is kind of going with like the topic of meeting like friends or making friends through like online gaming. Um my generation, like I'm a 50-year-old man trying to teach some youngins. But like elementary school for me was N64, middle school was GameCube, and like high school was like the beginning of Xbox 360 slash Wii Online, if you want to even consider Wii online at all, because many people wouldn't. But like I think like I don't even know what the point I'm trying to get at with this is that like maybe like I was more designated to with like not really having online when I was like because like kids now I think can make friends online gaming at a young age like so easily, whereas like when like in the 90s or early 2000s you were kind of just like you had to get lucky with like your friends at school liking video games because like if like imagine a world with no internet and if you're the only kid at your school who likes to play what's a game that no two people should like out of an entire school of kids?
What do you mean by
Okay.
that?
And let's
Who
let's say
broke the
let's say
bed?
you're a
Who?
fan of Genshin Impact. We'll use
Yeah,
as an
yeah, yeah,
example.
yeah, okay, okay.
If you're a Genshin Impact fan
And
and
like a
everyone
COD
else at the
player.
school likes to play like Pac-Man Racing or something,
Yeah, yeah,
you're just kind of screwed. And then you might be like the outcast of that friend group. Not even
yeah.
because
I can
you're
see
like
that.
odd or anything, but like I don't know. It's having like online gaming now to make friends with is like it's just so not stress relieving, but I guess it's like it's a lot
It's
easier to
it's
find people with
easier.
common interests. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the best things about it is that like you can find people who have similar interests with you a lot easier.
I think we're getting shot by
Oh yeah,
something.
this is skeleton right behind me. That's why.
My point being from all that is online gaming is a good thing.
Yeah, that was one thing I was thinking about too with it. What was it? There was the like you're very limit, like how you're saying you're limited as kids in school and that. But like I've met you through this. We've all met our own people. Like you find your group of friends online.
Yeah,
But then I know some people be like, oh, that's antisocial. Like, what do you mean antisocial? I'm meeting people across the world. What do you mean? Like, I've heard people make that argument. It's like, that's why online gaming is bad, but it doesn't. There's something wrong with it in reality.
I think it's that stuff is more for it's more like I think people um finding it because like it's weird to like picture someone who doesn't have like online friends, but like I think the only people who would think that like playing with friends online is weird are like people that don't have online friends because like it's hard for me to even wrap my mind around someone thinking that that's a weird or like foreign concept. Or maybe it's the idea of like prioritization is like a not the right word I'm looking for, but it's just like I don't know, like would they think that like if you're hanging out with friends in the flesh, it's more meaningful than like playing with friends online. I don't know. It's like it's definitely open to like interpretation, but there's no like concrete right or wrong viewing of it, I guess. But like just the idea that it could be viewed as like something that's like weird is in it of itself like weird to me.
Yeah, I get what you mean by that.
Because
Did
like if me, you, Tommy, Philip, and Jason are playing baseball at the park, who's to say that's any more weirder than playing as a bunch of elf warrior princesses in a dungeon? Except we all live in different places of the world. Who's to say that's not as meaningful as playing baseball?
yeah.
No one.
Like I
Who
remember,
blocked my bed?
like I remember back my in my school with all the COD kids. It's like everyone, even one thing I thought about, like they all segregate into their own like little groups in a little bit. Like
The COD kids?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like I like the kids you'd stay with for like high school and such. Like
it's niche group of niche groups because like the COD kids, they could be like casual COD kids, they could be stoners, they could be people who like enjoyed it, and then we're like, yo man, let's make a clan, and we'll put XCR at the start of our gamer tag. You'll be X quick
uh,
scopes, I'll be XCR wall hacks. We'll just have a clan, man. It'll be really cool. And it's like everyone who started playing Call of Duty was first just a small person entering a big world that didn't know what they were stepping into until they got wrapped in, and then by then it was too little, too late.
They
yeah,
were always really mean to me.
yeah. Those kids who were extreme like that, I don't like the extremists. I had some people I knew back from school who were extremists like that, but then I decided to stay
It
off.
was
Like
usually the public school kids that were extremists.
yeah,
'Cause I grew
No
up in
what?
public school.
like with COD, like a lot of the extremists.
Oh yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
bad back then.
Like that's why I stayed off. Like my friends and we always play like zombies and stuff. So like I stayed with the zombies kids. We all did the Easter eggs, we all had fun. We just enjoyed ourselves. We didn't get crazy about it or anything. Like yeah, every now and then we'll be like, oh, let's go have a trick shot contest, but we're not gonna get like heated over it and get like, and like just like sweating over it, going nuts. You know?
I think kids were a different breed, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, compared to what it is now, I think it was definitely just a big culture.
That's
like,
called we
showing
evolve
love
and
and
devolve at the same time.
Well, they
The
still have
community.
that mentality now because they bring it into games like Valorant.
Well,
I mean, that's
well,
just like
well,
the next like
that's
version
different
of
because
a
that
COD or a CS:GO.
yeah, 'cause that's a competitive game. That's different. I find that different.
Yeah, but
Well,
like you
there's
know what?
no reason for people to be harassing women all because they like spoke in a voice chat during selection. Like it makes no sense to me. And then they say, "Oh, you would never survive a COD lobby." Like, what mentality is that? There's no reason to harass people.
She does raise a good argument. People don't deserve to be bullied for no reason. I can't. It's
Yeah.
hard to argue against.
Yeah. Cause I remember even then back in my school, even some of the girls even would play COD, and like we didn't see anything wrong with that. I was like, oh, girls play COD.
Yeah, we-
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, we never saw anything wrong with that. I mean, we had people like originally like when I would say like in my high school group because that was like kind of like the big thing was for League. Like even like the girls were trying out League for the first time, but like
Yeah, isn't one of them a streamer now, right? Right?
Mhm.
Didn't one of them become a streamer? You said.
yeah, one of my friends, yeah, she became a streamer, but like her career like is still like in the very early stages of streaming.
I wish
But
her luck.
I don't know exactly where she's going with it.
I mean, as
Uh,
long as you're
like
having
she
fun
wants
with
to
it.
stream, I think, but I think she's like trying to get work done or whatever the case is, or she's either in Dubai or like she's traveling with like her boyfriend that she met or whatever the case was. So that's what she's doing.
Kind of hype.
I mean, as long as she's having fun with it, why not?
Yeah, I
don't-
think she's having a lot of fun. I mean, she has a lot of fun even if she like decides to go down one of those sand dunes and like like sandboard down it and then she like eats dirt. I watched that video online.
Yeah. What happened?
What?
I was focusing on doing
Oh.
something, and then I heard like even if she turns into a sandworm, and you know.
No. She like was
A
Sandworm.
sandworm?
no.
Sandworm.
She was
Is
having
that-
fun. She was having fun, like I guess like go down like a sand hill, right, in like Dubai,
Sandworm
went-
asterisk. No, I'm joking.
and she was like like snowboarding basically down it, and she like near the end like fell like the board went out under her because she was going too fast, and she like ate like dirt basically. She like went straight to the sand,
Oh my god.
but like she was still having fun. Like she was but she was laughing it off. Like that's like the thing. So like she was enjoying it.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's kind of like she enjoys like that craziness clearly. So like good for her.
One thing I thought was crazy with games, how when you meet new friends and everything, it's a crazy domino effect you get with meeting new people and keep branching off into new groups and all that.
I feel like
Yeah.
cosplay has really brought the video game community together, but there's also a problem in the community.
Wait, which one?
Like I said earlier, well, I said the cosplay community, how
Oh,
it's like connected to video games. There's also an ongoing problem. Like I said, in the video games, they like to take to bring it, bring it in real life and harass women. I mean, how many stories have I told you guys at cons? Well,
Oh, yeah.
because I'm cosplaying like a video game character, they think all of a sudden that I'm the character. Like, I'm okay with little kids coming over to me, like that little kid who came over to me because I was Futaba. But the weirdos who come over to me thinking that I'm dressed up as their, how do you say it?
Waifu. Waifu.
You were very fast in that response.
No, because I
Waifu?
knew what was coming. I knew what the
Yeah,
punchline was.
Yeah. They're weird. There's a lot of
Strange
yeah, there's a lot of
fellas.
weirdos.
weirdos.
Yeah, that's like the
And it's
best way to
just
put
getting
it.
worse.
I think that's one of the other things that there's a bad segue talking about creeps at a convention and then me being like, this is why gaming's unique. We have so many creeps in it. No, but I was gonna say like that's like that's the thing that makes gaming like not like the bad eggs are a good representative, is that like gaming has like, I guess that this can kind of be applied to like anything, but I think with gaming especially, like considering like how like where it started from is like when like games like way back forever used to be like only the thing nerds did, and now it's like
the nerd culture is like the meta kind of.
Yeah,
Or
like gaming in general is like so mainstream that it's like gaming back then, like you were a dork if you gamed, but now like you're a dork if you don't game.
You know,
Like you're
yeah.
not you, but you know.
I don't know. I feel like there's a few elitists out there that will gatekeep gaming.
Oh,
Uh,
definitely.
it depends. Honestly, like
there's always gonna be those type of people, no matter
I feel
what.
like there's a lot of games that do that, or like not
Like
even
the
like.
Persona fans.
Oh, the Persona fans, yeah. I've seen
Honest-
them on Twitter, even not on purpose. It's like,
I think
oh.
Twitter is a big problem.
I mean, honestly, I was gonna say like in terms of gatekeeping, and I just remembered that they just came out with a game like today, I believe. But it's like a weird game.
Wait, there's copper in the game?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
just
copper.
copper. Yeah, just copper now. I don't know why. But
Yeah,
just
Aunt
copper.
gave me copper, and I'm like, what is this?
I don't know. I just gave it to you.
Guys, I lost all of my stuff because someone was sleeping in my bed.
You guys want a lightning rod? Strike the house.
Oh, I forgot they added that. Yeah, burn the
Oh,
house
what
down.
rod? Excuse me. Wait, pause.
lost-
I'm very confused.
I lost all my items fighting a zombie because I didn't respawn where my bed was because someone was in my bed.
How much stuff did you have?
Not me.
I had copper, I had some swords, I had a lot of wood,
I mean, I think we
I
can
had
always
a
just
lot
get
of
more.
food.
We can always get more of it. It's fine.
No, but I had like all of the food from the village. That's the thing. Like all
what?
of the
I mean,
stuff.
we're lucky that like there's a lot of like mobs that drop food around us. So
Yeah.
we
But it
just
was
get-
like potatoes and carrots and stuff we could grow.
I just want to find the wood for the floor.
Yo,
I
Paul,
have-
we have to
I
do
had
something
that.
special for
That's
any of
the
your
exact wood I had.
listeners who are watching the video instead of like just listening to it. We have to do something special for them.
Alright, what's the special thing
What?
you think?
Come here. Anyone who's watching the video instead of just listening to it, this is gonna be a treat for you. Okay. So this is Paul. Everyone, I'm looking at Paul right here. This is gonna be something cool we're gonna do. Go get it, boy. Go get it. Go get
Are you
it.
throwing him a boat?
Are you guys good? I'm literally just mining right now.
Well,
Thanks.
well, if that worked.
I mean, I'm sure. Oh, where? I don't even know where I am. I slept in a village.
Oh my god.
This is what I get for
Yeah,
playing the
I-
game normally.
Just go to the go like.
I see
like,
someone. I'm following you.
Just go straight
what's
to the
going
right.
on?
Oh,
Just go
purple hair
straight to
cat
the-
girl. Thank God I found you.
Oh.
My savior. With the
Yeah, I see.
pancake cape. That's a good sign.
I forgot I added the cape too.
I
Oh,
forgot that
Dreams, man.
Minecraft really like made a lot of
you
cosmetics.
just call me Dream. Oh my.
Oh yeah, we didn't even
Behind the
talk
mask.
about
Which
that.
had
the
my
mi-
stuff the entire time. This is all my stuff.
we never even talked about the Minecraft community, like with YouTubers and such. How that
Oh,
that blew
yeah.
up so much.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
there's
like a
some-
lot of communities come with like YouTubers and influencers though too, and that's like a big thing, right? Like
I don't.
I feel like
the
Among Us
Minecraft
was the big
community.
one, right? Everyone
No,
like was
only the
playing
old one.
when like everyone was playing Among Us. I felt like there were so many influencers that started that, and then like everyone got on that.
I was okay with Among Us. Among Us was perfectly
was cool-
fine.
I was
that,
fine
that
with
was like
Among
a
Us.
fun party game for
And-
everyone.
Yeah, and then like when I watched the streamers playing it, it's like some of them were like pretty casual about it, and some of them were like very like sweaty about it.
No,
And it was
people got very sweaty. I know people who they were like, I can identify from the breathing in your voice. You are lying. I'm like, bro, just chill. I'm just playing a game.
By the breathing in your voice is kind of excessive.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
said.
I mean,
But hey, in their defense, you do have a breath that sounds like that of a liar. So
Whoa.
oh, well, you weren't lying before. There is a giant pit of lava like over here.
Hell, bro.
Hello, I'm back from the wild in the cave. I've been stuck for days, my bros.
Fighting.
Alright, Virgil, my turn.
assaulting me.
Move, get
Stop,
out.
I'm trying to build the house.
Do you want
I'm
sand?
gonna give you items, Paul, and you're gonna look at
Do
them
you
right now.
want sand?
Yeah, do you want sand?
Wait, what?
I do actually want
The
to say
what?
yes.
Ow.
Here, look at me right now. Here's what I have. Here's what I have.
What is this?
I don't know. I picked it up.
What is?
There you go.
What is all this?
I don't know. That's the problem. I don't
It's
know.
probably stuff from me.
It's raw copper.
No,
Why are you
it's-
throwing
no.
carrots at him?
It's not
Ow,
from you.
bro.
It's literally a mine. I
what
literally
else are
just
you
mined-
supposed to do
Ow.
on top of a house with no roof when it's raining at nighttime? Not throw
Ow.
carrots?
I'm literally dying right now. No, please. Oh, let's eat raw meat.
We have food, like actual food.
There's a bunch
Oh,
of horses here.
You should have told me. You
Whoa,
should have told
guys,
me,
we
dude.
have a whole field of sunflowers.
Yes.
This is a good view. Oh, this is
What
cool.
is this?
There's just
Well,
floating chunks.
That's just how Minecraft is.
wait.
I see no issue with the floating chunk.
Oh yeah, back to the what's it called Minecraft topic community. What's it called? Who actually brought Minecraft back again? Who was it actually? Was it Colin Carson?
Okay.
I know
Okay,
that.
it was a
I know that
combination.
Jay
It was a
Schlatt was
combination.
part of an SMP
No, that was Carson.
with
That was
Slimesicle.
yeah, that was part of Carson. What was it? It was a combination of PewDiePie and Carson. Like PewDiePie, he was like, "Oh guys, let's play Minecraft for fun or whatever," and then everyone started liking it, and then just out of nowhere, they started just bringing it back with YouTubers and such.
I'm trying to hit the dirt.
Oh my
Toxifier.
god.
So what was it? Yeah, Carson made the big, what was it? The SMP to bring like a ton of YouTubers together to play. Slimesicle, like some of the OG people like Captain Sparkles,
Like Connor Eats Pants.
Connor Eats
like...
Pants. I'm trying. Sky Does Minecraft. They actually got Sky Does Minecraft on there.
Sky actually played?
Yeah.
He was
yeah,
on.
Sky
he
was
was
there.
He was on there for like two episodes of it. He was just messing around because he
They even got voiceover Pete and voiceover
yes,
Pete.
they did give voiceover Pete for that episode.
And that was like very interesting. He came back, yeah, but the thing is that he came back in like at one point.
Yeah,
There's also Spider Souls and Schlatt too.
Like those players, okay, like even like if you didn't see them like on stream, some of them were playing the game and they were like actively like being a part of the community, right? Like voiceover Pete showed up and they had like some some RNG thing that they added into like in like some kind of system. I don't know what exactly it was, but I remember it being like very like stupid like voiceover Pete like whatever happened when he rolled like he spanned the wheel like it was like Wheel of Fortune or something, and like yeah, like he spent. Well, it's past tense, right? He spun the wheel, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember it being like something very, like kind of like stupid, but it was like very entertaining for them.
No, they had a ton of fun with stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, Minecraft being like it's like pretty nice that you can find like you can make a server, add plugins to it, and then like your community can kind of grow from that instead of it just being like the base game.
Yeah, like like there were servers like the Hypixel server and stuff. You guys remember those ones? Like the mini.
Hypixel, I think Hypixel closed on Java, but it's still around Bedrock.
I don't
I
remember.
keep getting sticky keys from crouching too much. I need to stop it.
I don't remember. I did it. I don't remember that one. If it closed or not.
Unless there was a server. There was some server that closed.
I think it was Mineplex.
No, I think it was Hypixel.
I think it was always Hypixel that something happened to it, and then they brought it back, and then whatever the case might be.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't remember. It's been like too long, and I don't remember playing that many online servers. I remember just like finding a server at one point, and it was just like my friends were like telling me about like, oh my god, like Hunger Games was like the big Minecraft thing I remember being at the time.
No, yeah, I remember.
Or, like,
oh yeah, the Build Wars and what is it? Sky Wars.
Sky Wars.
Yeah, that was one of them.
That was huge. And then the Build Wars where you had to build something in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. Ow. That was one of them. I remember that. Guys, I just realized this house is uneven. Oh no.
That's funny.
It's fine.
It's uneven.
No, I'm gonna be bothered for the rest of my life.
Then just extend it by one.
Just do the math, Paul.
I have the materials. Just extend it by one. I'm coming back.
Alright, please, John, help me. I'm gonna have like OCD. But to go back to the thing I was saying about like how there's like a domino effect with meeting groups and stuff. One thing I thought was crazy how was it I originally how I met like everyone that we're friends with now. I met Joey back at school, in high school. I remember we were just sitting down. I think it was like icebreakers or whatever, and we were talking about. And me and him were like two of the few kids who like actually mentioned like publicly like, oh yeah, we play tons of games all the time. We're big like into that stuff. So then I remember after the first day in high school, we went off to
No.
Oh my god.
we
Oh, help,
we went
help,
to go
help.
sit down for lunch, and I sat like a few like a few seats away from him. I sat alone. He had 3 other kids he was with because they all went there together. So then he looked over at me and he said like, "Oh, you mentioned video games, right?" And we started talking about like machinima in the middle of high school, like in freshman year. And from there,
Oh, I
like,
remember Machinima.
yeah, that was an old one.
Yeah, Mishima was.
They
Yeah,
made
Mishima was
they
pretty
made
big.
like Teenage Pokemon or something like that. I remember those shorts.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we grew from there. Like, what was it? I started. That's where we all started. Then I met, because I remember Joey met you, Caitlin, and everyone else we're friends with
In
now.
Smash Club.
Yeah, the Smash Club. Because I remember that's how you
Yeah,
guys
we
met.
met in Smash Club.
And then
What's up in high school?
Yeah.
what was it? Yeah, there was like a Smash Bros. Club we had. Yeah.
Man, I wish my school had things to do that were fun.
It wasn't as great as you
Honestly,
think.
I wish that like my school had like a very entertaining like video game group, but it didn't. So
It took a lot of work because we tried. There was a first attempt at a video game type.
Why is there a
club,
witch here?
but
Oh, I was a witch
Nah,
here.
because there was a girl who wasn't supposed to be there because she was quote unquote dating one of the kids there, and she would hang out and just bully all of the girls there, like me and Christina.
yeah, there was problematic people. Like
And
that.
I told the person in charge, and I was actually crying outside one day, and he still didn't kick her out.
Yeah.
He was like, just calm down, come back in. And I'm like, dude, she's harassing other people. She's not supposed to be here. She's not part of the club. And then that happened.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm
back
gonna
then.
leave it at
Look up.
that.
What was it?
Oh, you have to turn 180 and look up.
I see you. Can you get down?
Why are you guys like trying to hurt each other? What are you
wait, here I
doing?
got
Oh,
you.
ho, ho, ho.
I got. I was gonna say.
40-story fall, no big deal.
I was gonna say I got him. I could literally put the bed down for him, but all right.
Oh, I thought you were gonna burn. I thought you were gonna burn him down. That would have been also an option.
No, I don't have flint or steel. Oh yeah, but he's going places with all the wood.
Deep sigh.
I don't even know where I am.
Yo. Sal, are you okay?
You just
What's
call
Sal,
me Sal. Like
I keep calling you Sal. I meant, what's his face?
It's so that's like another thing that's OP about online gaming too, is that like you learn these people by their game names instead of their real names. So like you could meet a dude
yeah.
who's like you can meet a guy whose nickname, like one of my really closest friends, who I met on TF2. His real name is Nate, but I can't even.
Oh,
I was
you
gonna
call-
lead
you
it. I
call-
was gonna lead into a joke, but like I don't think I could say what his Steam name was on on here.
Don't
Just
you
to,
call him like Lunchbox or something? You call him Lunchbox.
no, that's lunch. Fuck, friggin' another dude I met on TF2, who I legitimately added just because of his name. His Steam username was Lunch Patterson.
Oh God.
And I was like, that's a 10
Oh,
out of
why is
10
there an
name.
enderman here?
Help.
Lunch Patterson,
Oh,
and then
wow.
I checked his profile, and it said that he had never changed his Steam username ever, and that he had his account for 12 years. I'm like, this
Over
dude
here.
thought of his S tier Steam name Lunch Patterson 12 years ago. This dude's a goat, and he never once was like, I need to change his name. That dude's a legend.
Ow.
Oh, that's great.
Also, do you guys want to see me dive in the pond? That's why I built it so
Are
high.
you trying to swan dive?
What is he?
Please.
I'm going.
What
No,
is
I'm not.
Please
I'm
miss.
going to watch.
Please miss.
Please miss.
What is
Please
this?
miss.
Do y'all have a good angle?
That's
Yeah.
like he's gonna miss that.
What is he doing?
Insert Discord disconnect sound effect here.
That recording on my Switch now. Thank you.
Oh,
That was perfect, guys. Oh, I don't want to steal stuff.
Oh no,
too.
guys, there's a witch here.
Oh, yeah, you have fun
Oh.
with that. I had to deal with that problem, and I
What?
couldn't
oh
kill
my
it.
chest. Oh, that was
Can we
great.
They don't like to be
kill her?
called witches. They prefer to be
Oh.
called wizards.
Can we kill her? Or...
Wizard.
Wizard.
Wizards and
John,
witches.
John, I don't think I suggest you do,
Do you
that.
know where
Oh,
she
no.
is?
Uh-oh.
Oh, John's just duking it out.
John,
Oh,
okay.
dear.
Oh, what?
She's not real.
Yeah, go
She's
back to
not
the house.
real.
You're gonna die, dude. You're gonna die, John.
It's like every time he smurfs in our matches. Oh, that player right there, he's not real.
I don't know, but like some people like play League, they actually like play like bots though. Sometimes it's like kind of sick. That's like the thing. Like I can't like, and that's like a toxic thing. I like for what I'm saying, but like at the same time, that's just like kind of like how I played League for a bit, right?
I'm
Was that
dying.
like eventually? No, I'm not gonna die. See,
Why is
The
that
house looks
thing
so much
coming on?
nicer with the 2 uneven pillars I put.
I hate it.
What is this?
That's
What
just-
is this?
that's just diving pot. Like that's just a diving stick right there.
A diving stick. You mean a diving board?
No, this is a yeah, that's a diving board. Where's the board of the diving board, huh?
Oh, I'm cheating on you.
With the diving stick?
Where did this thing come from?
The spider.
Yeah, how was there a spider in the house? You guys saw that too, right?
You keep
Wait, what
fucking
spider?
talking.
Wait, am I hallucinating? There's a spider in the house.
No, there
No,
was. There
no.
was like 5 seconds
There
ago.
was. There
Just-
was. What do you
just
mean was? You mean-
Melt the glass. Melt some glass, and we won't have this issue.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, it's gonna
More
be a
like
battle
delete the
between
pillars
two
and then we
doors.
won't have this issue.
It looks so stupid from a distance.
Yeah, I know. It
They're
looks,
just two big pillars.
it looks horrible.
Everything looks stupid at a distance until you accept it for its true beauty, then it becomes magnificent.
What?
You just died.
You just die.
I'm gonna make it. Oh, it's only a 1. I thought the whole thing was water. It's just the 1 square. That's kind of toxic.
Yeah, that's why
Oh
you.
my.
Yeah, that's why you died.
Wait, is he doing it again?
Yes, he's doing it again.
Again?
He's not very bright.
If you don't succeed, keep trying until you
Oh,
succeed.
sorry, I didn't know I'm gonna hit you.
That's why I had to do grade 10 10 times until I got it just right.
What
I can't tell if you're joking or not. That's the scary part.
If anyone had to spend a decade trying to pass grade 10, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
he's going so
Why
high.
did you break it? I was using it.
I'm gonna sound like an anvil when I fall. Okay, I've completely run out of blocks. I think I'm like 100 blocks up.
Oh boy, hold on.
You guys want to position yourself again? I'm actually afraid that I'm gonna overshoot. I can see every individual flower from here. It's kind of nice. You guys. should
Wait,
put
are you
ladders down.
actually? Oh,
Hold on, you
he's
know.
using dirt. He's using
It
dirt.
is one block that you're gonna
Nah,
land in, and
he's
it's
got
getting dark.
he's got 2 blocks.
No, it's I'm landing in the puddle in front of it. There's like a smaller pond that's bigger. That was a dumb way to explain it, but you know what I mean.
I don't see. I kind of see this. All right, come on, do it.
I'm afraid I'm gonna
Oh,
overshoot.
just do it, skeleton. Oh no! Oh no! Goal.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
actually did it.
Legendary. I actually gargled my spit. I was so intense into that.
Gargled your what?
Garl just spit.
He just like choked on it.
I was choking on my sense of pride.
Oh my god.
The sweet Victor Royale.
Why did no one congratulate me? You were just like, yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
bro.
Like, I wanted to feel the same way a kid does when he's like, Mom, look, I'm gonna jump off the dive board, dive in the pool. And then you're just like, yes, honey, I'm watching. And then they just look away and continue texting and drinking their wine. That's how I was treated just there. But it's okay. I'm happy with myself.
I can't relate on that.
Yeah, let's,
I can't.
yeah, a simple, as my one teacher says, a simple
What-
nod.
What is this? Wait, what is this? Wait, there's a new material in this game. Is it called tough?
Yeah.
What is
That's
tough?
called tough. I don't know what tough is. That's the problem. I'm gonna figure it out.
What is tough? I'm gonna put it on the ground. Someone
Tough.
describe.
You know what tough
Is
is?
this just
You know what
is
tough
this
is?
is this gravel or just like a
No,
cob?
it's stone. What the, it's like.
I
What
don't
is
know.
what is tough? Why is it?
Is that what it's called? Tough?
I don't like the way
TUFF,
some of the
TUFF,
textures look.
tough.
It's
Why is
weird.
tough?
Is there a
there?
texture pack to fix this? Because I don't like the way they look right now.
It probably is if you looked hard enough.
I heard they're going to release it, like an official patch, or not a patch, like a texture pack. But I don't know if that's true. Cause I'm not a fan of this. Like it looks okay, but I'm just so used to the old.
So much dirt now, ew.
I don't want to be in with the new.
I have to say though, Minecraft is really turning out to be a great example for just connecting everyone. Like this is the first time you guys have met Skitch, like at all.
Just
Isn't
this
it?
is the perfect timing too.
Like this is the
Is
first.
it not? I feel kind of bad now. You're like, this is the first time we've all hung out, and I'm just like, I'm going into a podcast where I'm hanging out with everyone for the first time. Oh no.
Why are you making another tower? Why do you keep doing this?
The college
Well,
is one step
that's one
closer,
thing
buddy.
castles are known for, is having too many towers. So I'm just adding more towers to our castle.
That's not even.
I
Alright,
tried to make like a whatever. It doesn't matter.
that's karma.
I really need to start sleeping there. This is like the 17th time I've had to walk from the village back to the house. Hey, at least it's.
It's bad.
Could someone else sleep in the village and then intentionally die? Oh, it's so much easier to find where home is when there's like a 20-foot, 1,000 tall tower of dirt like just erected in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, God, it's starting to sound like a Carson video. Jesus.
Actually, that's probably one thing I'm lucky about is that like Minecraft for me, I'm probably in like a weird minority for this, but like Minecraft to me was always, and this is just like a taste preference sort of thing, but like Minecraft to me was always most fun when I was like playing by myself, like as like a chill, relaxing game versus like hanging out with friends or whatever. Not that I dislike playing it with friends because I'm doing it right now, obviously, but I don't know, it was just like the exploration and like the excitement you got from finding like everything for the first time in single player. This is just like something that couldn't match that feeling. Like it's, I want to say some of the charm is lessened, but like I don't know, any game you like really get invested to that's single player, it's like you create like your own unique experiences from it. And
What the?
I'm just in a weird minority group that like all my really precious memories, that sounds weird to say, but like my good memories that came from this game were like mostly in single player.
Yeah, I get.
So like
I get what you mean.
I know nothing about the Minecraft community other than that there's a community and it's called the Minecraft community.
The what community?
The Minecraft community. That's it.
I thought he said something else. I was like, I don't know what you just
I mean,
said.
I can understand playing this game single player and like getting that experience for like, let's say, beating the Ender Dragon the first time, or like
We still haven't done that in
exploring
the
the
other world,
Nether for the
actually.
first time, right? Like something
I
like
don't
that.
even think I did that. I would just like I would mine stuff and like build a really pathetic log cabin house and I'd be like, this is my shithole. This is nobody else's but mine.
Yeah, that's what I use. That's what I
I used
usually
to
do
do that
whenever
on
I
the
play.
Pocket Edition.
Like if I would just
I
get
used to have the Pocket Edition.
like if I just got bored one day and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna relax for the day. I'll just go hop on Minecraft for a little bit. Go on, make a solo world. Just go around, see what I can do.
Only the real fans remember the Pocket Edition free.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that was the time. That was in sixth
They
grade
got
when I
rid
did
of
that.
it. You can't download it anymore in the
Well,
App Store.
because they made, because like they knew that they were missing out on like how much like money they were gonna be able to make, right? So like they just said, you know, let's make this thing like paid.
But that version was like so nostalgic, honestly.
I mean, yeah, it was, but wasn't that just like
I like
creative
the
mode?
free version.
Wasn't that literally just creative mode? And you were just flying around. That's like the whole point of it.
Pretty much.
There was survival mode.
I don't really
You
remember.
know, I
They
remember
might
there
have
was
added it.
survival.
I just remember there being a creative like mode or whatever. Like that's all there was, I think.
You know what?
hi,
You know what? I remember
Snoopy.
being one of the craziest things with like how I mentioned all of my COD friends in school. One like I had very little friends who actually played on PC. Like I think there was only like 3, and even then one of them was on a Mac, so they couldn't play much back then. But then I remember the day that they announced that Minecraft came to Xbox 360, my entire school went nuts. Like actually insane.
I mean,
That's how I first found out about Xbox. That's when I was still stuck in my console bubble. It was like Xbox 360. I remember playing like Minecraft PC for the first time and like I forget what I think I saw like a cheetah or a leopard and I was like, there's cheetahs in Minecraft now, and like because like the Xbox One is so bare bones and like I don't know.
Oh, the ocelots?
Yeah. Yeah, it's ocelots, right? It's
Those
called.
things.
Called ocelots.
Yeah, I remember all that. Because I remember, we literally, like, my entire friend group, as soon, like, the entire school, as soon as we got done with school for that day, I went home, I made a world for everyone, I filled up the entire world, like, within one day, like, we had, like, a group of 10 people on there, and I made a giant house for all of us, like, okay, everyone, we're making this giant house, I'm gonna divide up the rooms for everyone, you'll get your own chest and everything, let's go. Like,
What do you still have that Xbox 360?
I have the 360. I doubt.
Yeah,
No, but do you have the same one you built that house on?
Yes.
I think it's at his
Think about
grandma's.
that. That house is just sitting there waiting for you to walk into it again.
I don't know if I have that world anymore. I think we deleted it because everyone. Okay, that was one thing I remember
Is it
back
not
then.
at your grandma's?
No, that's my cousin's. Because I remember
Oh.
one thing that's what my friends would always do. They would like usually make a new world like if they went through the first one a little bit. Cause back then they didn't know about the Ender Dragon and how to do all that stuff. They were just like, oh, I guess we got diamonds and stuff. We did everything. Let's go make a new one. And they would go make a new
Well,
one.
Hero
and do it.
Brian. I remember Hero Brian was
Oh.
like such a huge thing back then.
Okay. Okay, that was one thing my friends. Okay, I'm gonna say it. It was real on the 360 version. 100% real.
No,
Why
it
do you think
wasn't.
it was real?
No, it was real. Okay,
No, it wasn't.
no, I thought
Why
it
do you
was.
think it was real?
You're
Explain
misleading
it.
your listeners.
no.
No, okay,
Oh.
I thought it was fake, and then like, the summoning thing is fake. Haha, it's not real. I did it with my friends. Our houses started randomly going on fire, and we were very concerned.
Well, remember when they didn't put in the patch notes that Hero Brian was removed?
That wasn't one of them. That was weird.
Oh, it's a conspiracy
that.
theory. It's not real. Don't listen to him.
I remember that being the case. They did that, but you know what it was? Like, because they did that, it's like, okay, like, people were like, always were concerned, like, did they actually, like, remove him? Is he in the game?
Wait, is he actually real or am I being trolled?
You
Yes,
know what? I
no.
genuinely don't know.
I'm
We
not-
know?
I'm gonna go yes based off my experience, but in reality, it's probably no.
Yeah, in reality, there probably isn't one. It's just the fact that, like, now it's just part of the culture of the game, right? Where it's just like,
I thought
alright,
I thought it was a cool part of the culture.
we're like, Minecraft. You know what it is, though, too? Like, it's very possible that it was just, like, the character model, and then he just didn't have eyes. Like it was just your character model, just with no eyes in that moment.
That's all it is. Just a character model without
Well, what
eyes.
about the random pyramids you would find?
Random
I
people?
think,
What?
I think
Did
that's
anyone-
what people built them.
I've never. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like in
You guys
in the-
never found those?
You mean
No,
What?
that was found a long time ago. They called it Egypt.
Yo.
they called
hey,
it
Paul.
Egypt.
Oh my god. I have to send photos of this.
Oh,
I can't
come
believe you
down
guys
here
have
right
There were
never
like,
now.
randomly...
there were like,
I'm gonna
I
never
might be able to
pit.
find these too. There were like pyramids that were like built in the
What?
game, like when people would spawn in or whatever the case
No, I know.
is.
You mean like the jungle pyramids and the desert.
No,
pyramids,
no.
No.
It was like a
No.
player like structure basically was made like when they got in that world, but it didn't make any sense
I've-
because
I've
you
never
got-
heard of this. What?
here I'll look it up really fast, honestly too.
I can't
Yo,
find,
Paul,
like,
I found some
an actual
infamous
photo.
quartz, by the way.
Infamous. What?
Infamous, or what it's called. Ugh.
Amethyst?
And,
you found quartz?
oh, you guys need to come here right now. Please.
I'm.
You need to come here right now.
I'm already.
You can't say come here when I'm a mapless man with no sense of direction.
You don't. Well, use your brain, smooth brain.
Okay,
Okay,
which one of
if I
these?
place you in the middle of Brazil and I just said I'm in Brazil, come here. Wouldn't you be like, give me some sort of hint, please?
I don't think it was that. I was watching Dream's video on Hero Brian, and he put a photo of it.
Oh wait, are you down? Are you in the mines? Or down
Yes,
below?
I'm like literally nearby the mines of the house right now. You need to check it right now.
I have 6 pieces of dirt and an iron axe. Is that all I need?
Oh my god.
I went down another pit. This is my pit.
Yeah, I went down another pit. That's not where he is at all. I don't know
I,
where
mean, I
I'm
don't
going.
know, like you got like it was just like this,
yeah,
where like you could see him sort of, or whatever the case is, right?
Yeah. Okay, that was the original one where you see the little. Okay. Okay. Do you mean the temple that John just sent? Is that what you meant, or something different?
The temple? No. Wait, the temple. Wait. No, that's not what I meant
Maybe
at all.
Dream's video again. I'll find a
Talk
photo.
about the update stuff for the cave.
But
Oh,
it
no,
was super
we're-
weird.
we're
They
talking
were
about
really
the
random.
Herobrine thing. I've never seen.
Oh.
Maybe if I search like Hero Brian Pyramid or something like that.
Try.
Because I swear I saw an image of it.
I really have never heard of this before. This is brand new to me, and I'm surprised. Found more tough. Did tough do anything?
No, I'm very
Oh,
scared
I
right
found
now.
it. I think I did. Oh wait, John, you're right. You're right. That's an example of a pyramid.
Yeah, that was an
Oh,
example.
okay, that's not a
of
pyramid. Oh, what's it called? That's a
There's
thing.
no, they called them pyramids.
No,
'cause
what was it? What that is like a player. If you want to summon Herobrine, you gotta make that thing in your world.
Well, these were randomly spawned.
It looks suspicious. I'll say that.
I mean, there's literally no way that it's not like someone just put it in there beforehand and just walked up to it, but
Yeah.
or it's just a very like good coincidence that it was just like the world generated that specific tile like in that.
Well, didn't they find the real seed
They did.
I don't
about
know.
a year ago?
They did find the real seed of where that is, like where it actually is in game. I think this is another way of how like games connect us with their own little fan theories and things like this. Of which like, oh, how did this happen in this game? Or like people make up their own stories, you know?
I don't think Herobrine is a myth.
Like their own lore. Okay, I think I don't know. It's a mix of both. It's like it was started.
Was that image proven to be fake?
I don't know. No one.
See, that's the thing.
No one's ever questioned it. Everyone just has accepted it as fact. Honestly. I don't know.
It would be cool if that was a fact.
It would be a little bit cool.
Honestly, I think it would be an entertaining part of the game.
A little terrifying at the same time.
Oh, I would love it.
I feel like it would make this game way more terrifying.
Bro, why'd you hit me?
There's a goat in our house.
It's a
Are you
goat.
for real? What the? Who
Yeah, the
brought a
doors are brought
goat in the house?
I was
The
just-
doors are closed too. Maybe Herobrine put them in here.
Nah, bro, you made that thing jump from there.
What if I-
How is
What?
there a goat
What
in
if-
here?
what if I just
Oh, you
hit it?
think he jumped off the dirt mounds I layered onto our
Yeah.
He
fortress?
probably jumped off from the hill and came in here. That's what they do.
Well, that's good. Houses are better when wildlife can just enter as they please.
Why are there random dirt pillars in the house?
I am back from my exploration.
What do we do
I'm
with the
going
goat?
to
What does the
show
goat eat?
almost
Does
something. Where's
anyone know
Paul
what the
right
goat
now?
eats?
Paul,
I'm
where are
busy.
you?
Murder it. What if I just get rid of
Mines.
the goat?
Does it eat apples,
That's
carrots? What does it eat?
Y'all, look at this.
Here, goat. What do you want?
What is it?
Look at it.
Alright, bro.
Let me look at it.
What is this?
I don't know, but I also found this.
Oh, is it like the new blocks? Yeah, it is.
It makes chewing
Wait, why is
sounds.
it making sounds?
How'd you put it down?
Yeah,
I can't put mine down.
Hold on, what are you guys doing up there? We're
This is just how the game works.
Ow.
Oh no, what? The goat left. What the?
Oh,
How
ow.
do you get
No,
over
don't
there?
break that. No.
You just
Break that.
pleased the
Oh,
goat.
you need axe for that, dude.
you displeased.
Not
I'm
axe,
using
not
an
axe.
axe.
Not axe, a pickaxe. Not pickaxe. I said pickaxe, not axe. Oh my god.
What
There
if
you go.
what if I just dismantle you with this pickaxe? Huh?
That's not a pickaxe.
I mean, this is. I think this might be a pickaxe, is it not?
Hey, Virgil, get over here.
Oh, I'm busy.
Virgil.
I'm busy.
Just show you. No,
I-
Paul, I need to show you.
I
Get over
am
here. No,
Busy.
get over here.
I'm
Get over
busy.
here. Get over here.
I will knock
Over
you
here.
down this hole. Yes, you have
Right there.
Yes,
Oh,
you have amethyst. We can make a lightning rod with. No,
Oh.
Oh my god, sketch.
Dude, me and my legs just don't get along.
John, why are you
Wires
building
so-
this?
I didn't build this. It's-
John, what the?
I didn't build it. It was
With
definitely-
the house so
definitely
far in the distance from
I
the
didn't build
village,
this.
if you look at it
I
with the
didn't build
lights
this.
on, kind of
Definitely
looks like it's on
your
fire at night.
Oh no.
I'm pretty sure Herobrine wrote that. You can tell because he definitely.
What did he write? I'm gonna come back up to.
Right, I can't even write anything in this game.
There are a lot more weird cave noises in this update. I don't like this.
Yeah, I went in the cave and I got immediately hit with the noises and I left.
Anyways, I kind of found diamonds going on mining for 5 seconds.
No,
Kinda.
you didn't.
Yeah, it's my first time in the mine, and I kind of just.
Everyone
You're
kill
a
him and steal the
liar.
diamonds.
Yeah, where's he at?
For the diamonds now. Oh yeah, I also have this
Power
too.
of the. Oh, I don't have a map loaded.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this right now.
Using the
behind you.
power of
Oh, bro.
It is.
intuition and
What is this?
asking.
Oh, you
Paul-
know those things from the caves in real life with the pointy things?
What?
The, like, ice pick things?
Yeah, pointed dripstone. That's what they're
Why
called.
do you have those? Why are they on the floor?
I don't know. Good question. You can also put them
Please
upside
get
down
rid of
too.
these pillars.
Look, you can also get them too. Up on the what's it called? Roof.
Oh my
I think they grow. I think they it's called grow too. Which is nice.
You guys ever think about how much cooperative games have brought people together compared to like competitive games?
I mean, I think
Dude.
I feel like that's like the main point to take with like a cooperative game, right? Is to cooperate, right? It's like kind of the main point.
Why are you guys getting
Right,
rid
well,
of my dirt mounds?
Right, in competitive games, like it's meant to drive player bases apart, and in cooperative, it's to bring them together, right? So, like, let's take an example of this, right? So, it takes two, right? That just came out recently, so I can guess I could talk about that one,
Yeah,
right?
that just came out
Like,
like
that's
days
an
ago.
entire game where like you relied on your partner to like literally help you through the entire game, through all elements of gameplay. So if one person can't, like if you can't do something right, like your partner had the ability to do the opposite of what you needed or something, right? So like
Yeah.
that's the kind of like system that we get from a game like cooperative based. I mean like I could say like Borderlands is very cooperative, right? And they add like a tiny bit of PvP into it, but like it's not like the main focus
Yeah,
of the
like it's optional, right?
They
yeah,
added a co-op to Pokemon.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they added. There's that
There has
Pokemon.
been co-op in Pokemon over the years, actually. Pokemon Ranger had co-op.
I mean, I was gonna say that Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee
Yeah, that game has co-op.
had a co-op
Oh yeah,
in it.
isn't there the what was it? The Sword and Shield had something.
Sword and Shield had co-op.
Like the raid thing, like kind of like Pokemon
Oh
Go.
yeah, the
I think
Gigantamax
it's
raid.
just like to help like game communities like come together, even if it's just like another player to like be involved, right? Like if it's like in like like if you have like a household like two kids, right? Now like the person who was mainly playing the game, like, and the other one that was like probably looking up to them, like wanting to play too, like has that opportunity to like engage with the game and like with their their siblings. So you get like those opportunities that happen for like that unique game experience.
Yeah.
Oh, Kirby Superstar Ultra had co-op.
Oh yeah, that's an old one.
My sister and I religiously played that game. We would play co-op together. So one would be Kirby and one would be the power-up.
One thing I just thought of with playing games together, everything has moved like with connecting people through the split screen market. Now it's all moved to online, like only online at this point.
I
Yeah,
never really
I mean,
liked split screen.
It's just the convenience of like online, right? Where it's just like,
Yeah.
all right, if you have one person and they build and they like have everything they need on their side.
Oh.
I think
Do you
it's
think they're gonna do online with or not online? If they're gonna do,
split screen.
well,
Like,
no, not split screen. Like, did y'all see the new like Mario Party remaster
oh
thing they're
yes,
doing or
the
whatever?
new
Oh yeah, they're
Mario.
doing online for that.
It's completely online, which is really strange to.
Oh, is it online only though?
I
No,
I doubt. No,
it's not completely online. It just has an online feature.
yeah.
Thank
So
the
if you
Lord.
guys DC, it saves the game, so you could resume.
Oh, really? That's actually amazing.
Yeah.
But one part of me is like it's more convenient, yeah. But one part of me is like it feels like it's takes away a little bit of what it used to be.
Well, don't forget, you guys have to pay $60 each at that point because Nintendo never really has sales on their products.
Yeah, that too. That's another thing.
So that's 60, 60,
just
60.
just to be quote unquote more convenient.
That's over $240 without tax.
Yeah, it's only a small price of yeah. Give us all of your money.
And then
please.
a Switch is like 300. Well, if you already own a Switch,
Cause like,
but like it would be like
back when we played things like Halo 3, you would do the 4-player split screen with each other. It's like, okay, now all of you all gotta get Xbox Live, so that's $60 a year, and you all gotta get an Xbox 360, and that's like back then it was like $350 probably, definitely. I don't know.
How much was a Wii back then?
Oh my god.
And then you gotta get a $60 game.
Out the house. No.
Oh shit!
Run. Get out of the house. Why is it a creeper in the house? It parkoured through dirt.
This is why you gotta.
Are you kidding me?
Sketch.
parkour through dirt.
There's
No,
nothing in the
Will,
house.
how did
Ow.
this thing spawn in the
God.
house?
Oh.
What's
No, it
happening?
didn't
Loser.
spawn in the house. It got up through the back of the house, and I watched it do it. And I was just like, I'm getting out.
Where?
Maybe Paul built this on an ancient creeper burial ground or something.
Yeah.
No, it's because of your towers.
No, don't blame my goofy
What
towers.
is this system?
My goofy tower.
My
What
tower
are you
system?
My
building?
goofy
Make it
towers.
higher.
I'm
Make it
building
higher.
architecture.
Make it higher.
Architecture.
Just make it higher.
You can call it dirt.
Why is
I
there a
call it
llama
art.
right
Alright,
here?
go off,
Why is there a llama in the
Carolyn.
cave at the bottom's bottom? Oh my! How is this? Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know how this
You
is
make it higher.
gonna...
Squirrels
There's
are
a
Get it
llama
really
inside the caves. That's impossible. Oh, there's another llama too. How do you manage to? Okay.
Squirrels,
I'm not gonna
this
question
world is
that.
like turning into a train wreck very fast.
Honestly, remember that world that I found on TikTok that someone said when they spawned in it was pretty creepy? And then we checked it out and it was like a little weird. But not that weird.
What was it that was weird? I don't remember anything about that.
I don't know. They said like stuff kept despawning and stuff.
Possible they could have been like stuff could have been like deloading out of chunks or something maybe.
I'm scared. I don't want to be in the caves anymore. Like, even as a like person who played Minecraft for 10 years, I get really scared just by myself. It's really fucking. It's really.
I still
It's like,
get scared by Minecraft, if I had to be honest.
I don't have any issues with the cave systems of modern Minecraft. The only time I actually worry about anything is when there's ravines and inside the ravines there's like those areas above you where it's like dark. But like it
I don't
has
like those.
room to like have a mob spawn, and in that case of like the mob being there, it'd be like a creeper, and the creeper drops in on you and blows you up,
Yeah.
and that's just like unfortunate.
What?
Definitely.
Well, what about that new mob that's releasing?
Oh,
No,
honestly,
no.
I think it's cool. I think it's really cool what they did with it in terms of like it's gonna like
Why is there a wolf?
basically echolocate you through sound. I like that a lot. I think it's just like a different type of mob that really interacts
What?
with like the environment with like
Huh.
one there being like a sensor plant where you have to like get rid of it or something in order to like traverse through the actual area to
Wait,
like
you have to kill a plant in
Well, you
order
don't
for
have
it
to kill-
not
no.
to detect you?
well like there's like these like plants if you move too fast the game it like tells the creature like hey he's over here and then like he will just walk over to you and you know with impending doom because that's basically what that character is.
Yeah, pretty much, basically. I basically be afraid. That's how I
That's
feel.
I mean,
Wait,
if
Is this
it
thing in
could-
the
oh,
caves right now?
No,
No, not
it's in the
yet.
next update.
no yeah it's like in the but like
Part
you
1
can-
was like a slight update with goats and stuff. Like a texture update and stuff. The real
Oh.
stuff is coming like November. Well, no, I don't think that late. Maybe September, October.
Or I'll be scared to know if it's gonna come right now. Like, oh, you should have told me.
Well,
No,
have-
you
you
would,
you have
would
to, like,
notice
go
the
find it.
difference in the cave
yeah you
right
have
now.
to go find it.
That's a-
It's like
You
if
have to be in like a ravine or something.
you'd have to go out of your way to encounter it, I think.
It's not going to be there
Oh,
constantly.
guys, I found a broken nether portal underground.
Oh, that's
What?
cool. Yes.
Yeah, you could find these. I forgot. I found one.
Underground though?
Yes, underground apparently. Well, yeah, I found one.
Because we found a lot in the other world above ground.
Yeah.
But they were right next to caves. Do you have the tools to collect the obsidian?
Well, I do have the diamonds.
Alright, well, pick them up and we can go to the nether.
I'm already scared right now. I need to leave.
This looks it
I'm
looks so
hallucinating right now.
ridiculous. It looks so ridiculous from third person.
I don't even know how to like put third person on my character at the moment.
No, I mean like watching you do it is like goofier than like
Oh yeah, this is definitely just like not what it's like supposed to be happening where my character's neck is literally breaking off his spine doing this.
Bruh. I'm waiting for you guys to be done. I have no idea what to do.
Just,
I don't know.
go mining.
Where are you, though? For
Uh,
me to go mining.
Down.
down. Yeah, I'm just.
Where did they go? No, but where did they go?
Don't know.
I'm trying to
Like,
think
which
of
cave?
I'm trying to think of like other like real interesting things that like gaming like communities
They
have, like,
went down
brought.
here? I doubt it.
But like I can't really
gaming
think
community,
of
gaming communities have done the things
Uh,
now. Like now,
honestly, yeah. I mean, I was gonna say like
I found
maybe
a
like
ravine, guys.
like
Ooh.
in terms of like bringing people together, and in terms of like maybe like
Ooh.
doing like good for like communities and like
What about all
people.
those charity streams that people do?
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
AGDQ or like any of the speedrunning like games done quick, like are really like interesting like areas to like go venture into if you're like kind of bored on Twitch.
Ooh.
Like I like
Snow.
because like they do it like every like
Every
I
year,
every
every
no
like
well every they'll
two
do like
times a year.
it's like two or three. It's like two or three times a
don't they get
year.
together at like a convention or something?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. They usually have a
you
convention for
could
it
yeah,
all,
you could walk in and watch.
where they and you could watch. It's like a whole week or something though, right?
Yeah, it's an
Right.
entire week worth
It's
of
an entire
content.
week of like
An
content that they throw
axolotl. It's
out,
cute.
Yeah.
where all the speedrunners are pretty much like just showcasing the game that they
Aiden, you
love.
should follow me. I just found an axolotl.
Where are you?
Down. Deep.
I
You won't
I
find
have
me.
no clue where you are.
But it's
Deep.
pretty good for like everyone, right? Like for in terms of
Deep.
like the charity, like they're gaining like funding, right, for the actual like the charity event, right? But
St.
like for
Jude is a big place. People donate to.
yeah, I mean in their terms, it's like always Doctors Without Borders, or
Yeah, that too.
I'm forgetting the other ones that they used to use or they would have done, but Doctors Without Borders was really huge, and I can't remember anything else, but usually it ends up being something along the lines of
Like they get like just given the
like
I've seen
healthcare.
like a lot of healthcare ones. Those are the ones I see the most.
I mean, it's just like for people who don't have that accessibility, though. That's like why it's really nice. But watching those
Mental
games are
health.
great.
Oh
They
yeah,
donate to mental health ones too.
yeah.
Yeah, they
another
probably.
one.
I mean, they donate to a lot, I would imagine. So it's good on their part. But I don't know, like watching the communities, like and like the speedrunners, like play the game, like and the communities like getting hyped over it, like and they're at the event, they're hyping up the runners. It's pretty fun. Even like when it gets like competitive, they do like those competitive runs, and even then it's like just as cool. Or like the special like ones where it's like okay, like it's somebody playing like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and he's doing it blindfolded, and that's for him to like beat the game like that. It's all like audio cues for him, and just like like good luck essentially
Yeah.
to have like a good run that like would be considered like worthy of record breaking.
Oh, yes, 8 diamonds. Checkmate.
What is that? Oh, what? I hear something.
So I give them major credit for what they do.
Yeah. I remember one crazy thing that happened in the gaming community. You guys know MatPat, right? You
Yeah,
two?
yeah.
Yeah, Mappa.
I remember back there was some gaming thing he got invited to, something with the Pope back then. I don't know if it was Pope.
Oh
See
Undertale.
the Pope?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah,
got-
yeah. He got
How the
invited.
Pope has a copy of Undertale?
Yes. He got invited to talk to the
What
Pope
do you-
about video games, and he's like, "Okay, here's a game I have to represent like all of gaming or whatever." And he gave them a copy of Undertale because it's like, oh, it's like about not killing and stuff, even though there's an
Did
entire.
Pope Francis ever say anything about it?
you know what? He's probably too busy to actually like try it out.
Yeah,
though.
I'm
Busy
gonna,
being a Pope.
yeah, I'm gonna
Alright,
be
John,
real.
what is he doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I don't think the Pope can one. I don't think he knows how to operate a computer. Two, I don't think he'd be able to like do it with his time. I don't know. What does the Pope do now?
I mean, what I know, I mean, St. John's, like, at one point, I didn't go on this trip, but there was a point where, like, I knew, like, a couple of my fraternity brothers and, like, a friends of mine when they went to, visit the
The
Rome
Vatican?
campus. Yeah, like, the Rome campus that
That's
exists,
cool.
right? When they visited, the Pope was there, like, so, like, the Pope does, like, visits to
Whoa.
like, places, right? But like and like it's like people crying in the street, like their child, like like the Pope is like blessing them, and like that's like their whole like.
Do you think he conducts the masses?
There's a possibility
Probably.
that happens,
He
but
probably goes to schools and conducts the mass there.
I
Like
mean,
how we have a confirmation, we have a cardinal come in
I'm
from like Manhattan or something.
I'm not even so sure. I think it's a lot for him going on, because like being that he's such a highly seen religious figure, like it's also like probably like politics for them. So like there's a lot of stuff going on that like he
Yeah.
has to like attend to, you know. So like on his end, it's like he can only do so much within a day with the power that he's given as the Pope.
Yeah, and they travel he travels daily, doesn't he? Right?
Yeah, I would imagine like, hey, you're in like one flight to go to Rome or whatever the case might be, like for that moment, right? All right, now it's like we just visited the whatever like the Roman camp, like the Rome campus, right? Now we're going to like another like institution or something that's like maybe like it's not Rome, right? It's like somewhere else, but like within the same area. So like now they're going there, right? So like he's probably like on the move 24/7, and like
Yeah.
never stops in that community.
None
Who
thing
knew,
that
knew being a pope could be so exhausting?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
you are the head of an entire religion, like arguably one of the biggest ones, right? It's like top three biggest.
How are
yeah.
you behind the stairs? Where are you? Oh, never mind.
Oh, I'm just like taking a second to like talk and like sitting back and like kind of like figuring out like my thoughts.
There's been a lot of crazies because now they're moving with the gaming community. Like there are a lot. I know a lot of people out there who they're taking their love and passion for games as a community, and they're trying to get kids involved in it and teach them things. You know, like there's one kid I know in my
Yeah.
classes. He's been doing a lot of educational work and he wants to try to teach games to it. Like I think he's working on a project right now, like coding a whole thing for it. It's a
Coding
lot.
for what? For just a general game,
I
or
think it's just a general game teaching kids about coding and other things. If I remember
Oh,
correctly.
like that commercial we keep seeing
Wholesome.
about coding school for kids.
Yeah. Because it's like a whole thing where like games and computers are the future and everything, so it's just trying to get them prepared, you know? Things like that. But it's good to see like the gaming community stretching out and, you know, just helping out more with the general world as it's developing. Like a lot of games now, they use it as a like one thing I think of about when like talking about games and designing them and developing a story is like putting a message out there for players to just to like understand and such. Like that's like the main reason Undertale was given to the Pope. It was supposed to be like a kind of peace thing and such. I think, right? So like
I
how
think it was like a message. Like it was honestly like a message to be sent
yeah.
to like
oh, I'm drowning. Oh,
like
that
any like in terms of, like a media, like a form of media, like mine or like that one like speaks the loudest in terms of like what it's been able to accomplish.
No, yeah, definitely.
And I think that's like truly the case. I think like that game has brought out so much within such little time. Now they're making the sequel, right? We have I can't remember the sequel off the top of my head all of a sudden.
Deltarune.
We have
I don't mean to freak anyone out, but there's spiders and skeletons walking on the dirt stuff I built around the house.
I'm going.
Yo,
I'm
look at them.
going to. Why?
Can you see them right above you?
No,
Oh yeah, I
but
see them.
why?
Oh,
Fine.
you can see them walking on it right there, right?
Because they're probably spawning up there. Because you.
Oh yeah, they're definitely spawning up there.
That's kind of sick though.
No.
Yeah, which means if they drop on you, they're gonna get to jump on you, but they might blow up and die in that moment.
Hope I missed.
How do you have a bow? Oh, you probably picked the one from the skeleton, right?
Yeah, I haven't sniped in Minecraft for a while. Oh! Stop moving. Oh, don't move. There you go. It's dead. I don't know if arrows left. Oops.
Do you guys want to call it for this first part? I think we've said plenty for
Oh.
this one.
One of them almost just killed me. You saw that, right?
Oh,
Yeah, honestly,
we
I
need
might
to.
be
I
it.
think
We
we
need to go in a bed in the game. Okay, where are all the beds? Who has all the beds?
They're in the village. I kept spawning there.
I thought.
Honestly, I feel like we talked about a lot. I think we've really hit like the 2 hours mark, kind of.
We're like at
Yeah, we
we're
kind
like
of
at
did.
1:45. I think it's not bad.
No, yeah, it's not bad at all. Usually we always like did like an actual episode was like 2 hours, right?
Just
I think
about.
even within this, like it would be considered like a whole episode, honestly.
Pretty much, yeah. I think we're good. And we'll see. If we don't do a second part, this is a pretty good episode on its own.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good episode for what we've talked about. I mean, I feel like there's like in terms of like the idea of like the community based. I think we talked about really everything. What was that?
That was the that means you need to go sleep because they're gonna kill us. But we
No,
haven't.
I couldn't tell if I just got hit by a diamond sword or not. Like
No,
that's
nah. They're very strong. That's why.
it's not like I lost like 3 hearts or anything.
Okay,
Why are you going to bed? The sun's coming up.
because the what are they called?
Wake up,
The flying things are gonna come around.
wake up.
Birds?
No,
No, I want to use the chat feature. Oh man.
I completely forgot. Phantoms. Yeah, that's what they're called, right? Yeah. Let's go with that one.
Are we doing outros?
Yeah, I think we're pretty much at the end for
I think we're at the end of the. I think there's like the topic list is like for in terms.
I
of
thought you ended it already, but I couldn't tell.
No, I didn't. No. We're talking about
we make like an official like end when we do it.
No, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll end this first part here.
Yeah, we'll
well-
end it off here.
Yeah, we'll end off here. Sketch, thank you for
Before you end it, or I think you should step like very far back down here so that the once again the people who are choosing to watch instead of listen get like an extra treat of how beautiful our house has become. Mainly like I know you guys did pretty good, but I'm gonna take credit for, you know.
John, no. Why?
We must.
Oh,
go
I actually
higher.
spawned up here. That's nice.
We must go higher.
Alright, guys, we're gonna call it for the first part here. We'll continue on for part 2. Unfortunately, Skitch will not be with us for that part. So thank you, Skitch, for being on for part 1. And we'll be on.
No
right back.
problem. Anytime.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of episode 8 of the GT podcast. And we're here again with me, Kaylin, and John, continuing from last time. And another topic that we thought of, well, when we were bringing up how the domino effect of how, sorry, excuse me, we have games connecting everyone, is how, John, your friend Joe, we met him through you when we played League when he came on for the Last of Us episode.
Yeah, my friend Joe honestly came back into my my immediate group of friends with the fact that he was like playing League for like a bit like recently, and he was like at the time like one of the only people I knew from an original group of friends that I had that was playing that game, that was playing it, and I knew he had an account. Next thing you know, like he never was on it again, like it disappeared, but I never removed him from my friends list at that point. Next thing, because like League allows you to like, have like a max number of like 200 plus friends or whatever the case might be. So anyways, he messaged me at one point, mentioned that he was still playing the game, and then I was talking to him for a bit, and I said, well, you know, why don't we get back together again, like try to get this group, like some kind of group going on, and as it, you know, as it turns out, that's where we've gone from there. In that regard, it's nice to have that moment to rekindle that relationship, though, because you know, since it was like from high school, like you think, okay, it's been like about like 4 years after everything, so like you never know what kind of like pathways like people could have gone.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's really nice though, honestly. It's very wholesome.
Yeah, and through that, we've all met each other, and we've all pretty much played League all the time now. And even got him on for the podcast. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Yeah, it's great. It's such nice things to have.
Feel like you never know when it'll come back like that. And like
Yeah,
with that, like a lot of games they create like lifelong friendships like that. Like that's one great example of it.
Yeah,
Like,
you're definitely not wrong about that. I feel like a lot of the people I've met online have like been some of them like being like really chill, but like some like for League it's like toxic people. So like you just kind of like ignore those like people if that's not your kind of friend group that you're looking for. But like if you really find like good groups like that, I mean, like and I've probably and I think I said the first time around like the other day, but in like WoW it's like that's like kind of like what guilds are. Like when you make niche groups and stuff, like you build like relationships out of those groups. But even in those guild, like eventually, like it's really interesting, and because like I bring up WoW in this case, and this is probably the case in like with other games similar to WoW, but they actually have like people have like made like gotten like into relationships and stuff like online through WoW or like other games like this too. But in WoW, like they take it to the extent of like they meet up in real life and they go like these people start dating like outside in like the real world, and it eventually ends up like getting them married and stuff like in real life, which is like honestly really cool that they can actually have that moment,
yeah, like
because you never think something like that ever happens, but it does, you know.
yeah, like when you go to play a game like that, you're sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna have a fun adventuring around, meet some people, make a guild, have some fun. You never expect something as big as that. You're like, wow, I really want to spend my entire life with this person I've met just over a small video game.
Yeah, especially in the case with, I mean, the community in like WoW, I feel like it's such a strong community though in terms like of relationship building. I mean, in the case of like one of the like like I'm saying in like life, I guess, right? Even in like I want to say like like in like I guess like marriage was like one side of it. Like even like on the other end, like if like the in the end, I guess, right? Like if people like passed away in real life, their characters were like end up being memorialized into the game. Like some people like by a guild or whatever the case is, who you were raiding with for like years on end,
Yeah, like
or even like streamers. In the case of there was a recent streamer that did this, I think about like kind of like recently, like last year or within this year even. His name was Wreckful on stream, and he was a rogue player in WoW to the point that he got when he passed away from like, and he was young, but he passed away on his own end doing something that like he just couldn't like find it in himself to go through with whatever was happening at the time. So that happened with him, right? But his like the amount of people in the community that he had affected on Twitch, on WoW, in all regards of that, it was kind of like amazing for that. Um,
yeah, and the entire community recognized them after that. They just
yeah, exactly.
couldn't forget him.
Especially the WoW like developers though too, because like to get put into WoW, you have to like honestly have like something like that has to be like really stand out. In the case of that character, um, like he's like he became like a class trainer in the game, and like class trainers don't really do anything anymore, but they kind of stand out as like a point of reference for certain things. So in the case he got put in as a class trainer, which was named Wreckful, I believe, and the whole thing with it is that like there's like classes in Rogue and like specializations of what you can become. When you talk to the character in game, it says that he only trains assassination rogues, and that was due to like a point in like his streaming career on Twitch when he was playing like the PvP mode in that game, where there's like arenas you do like 2v2s or 3v3s, and he wasn't even playing the optimal meta like of what his class could have been playing as, because he just didn't like it and he wanted to do something on his own and prove others like that you can do the highest point of something if you just believe in it and you can push yourself for it.
Yeah.
So it's really like a role model at that point that you get to have something like that. So it's really awesome, honestly. I liked it a lot.
Man, 100%, 100%. And like there's other ones like with like that they've done with World of Warcraft, right? Like even people who just like when they do something funny that like one of the biggest memes, what was it in World of Warcraft? Leroy Jenkins. Didn't they put him in the actual game now, or they put
Yeah,
him
so
or
they
was it Hearthstone? They put him in one of them. I know that.
put him in both actually.
Put him in
I
both.
mean, they kind of made him like yeah. in WoW they made him in an expansion as like a character you can like recruit for like a daily mission thing, kind of, where like you can like use him as like a that's like a unit to like gather you resources and stuff. But in Hearthstone, he's a card. He's a literal card that has been played in the game since the beginning of time. And even when his card got retired in the actual standard like card pack like of play, he was like even put into like, I think he was like memorialized to a Hall of Fame card almost. Granted, it was a legendary card too, so like it's really hard to get as it is because you have to open enough packs to get it.
Yeah.
But two, like now he's in like the Hall of Fame because he was such a strong card in that game. You know, in the case of his card, it was like you can do 6 damage for free and like blow up someone's like hero, like the hero that you were playing as in that case, and like win the match. And having that kind of power is like really impactful for them. So it's really cool, honestly. That like they have those kind of moments. I'm trying to think. I think they even put in like, I'm trying to think what else they might have threw in somewhere. Honestly, like another moment of this is, I want to say, like Borderlands 2, and in Borderlands 2 they threw in
Oh
a
yes,
character.
that's right. Yes, I totally forgot about that one.
They threw in a character who I think was going through a battle of cancer at the time, and even though he might have lost the battle, he was still memorialized into the game as a character that you would see in the hometown of Sanctuary, and you would see him there. And sometimes if you like, if he it was all like based on like RNG if he spawned or not, I'm guessing. But if he did spawn in your town, if you walked up to him, he would give you like loot, like a very like strong piece of loot. Not like anything like legendary, or even like I think he had a chance to drop a legendary, but he would still give you loot that was like very like strong at any point in the game, and it was kind of cool. I didn't know who he was at the time though when I was like younger playing it, but finding out when I was like older, I was like, wow, I'm like, this is like really awesome that they actually threw this guy in here. Like, the game meant a lot to him. Like, the first game meant a lot to a lot of people. It was a different genre, different breed. A lot of people got brought into it where you were playing as and like, you know, everyone's relationship, I felt like in that game were like, okay, like when if you play with a 4-man, it was always like, all right, how many people, like everyone's got to pick like one character of the 4 that they have, but you can't have duplicates of them. So like you can actually have that, like you can play out that role of 4 people of that gang going at it. So honestly, it's pretty great in my opinion that they have like moments like that, and even like the rest of Borderlands, it's the same case. But like with the relationship building and stuff like that, a lot of cooperative games have that opportunity to give you that life and blood that you kind of seek in the cooperative environment, though,
Yeah.
and in like relationship building and all that, like friendship, like achieving moments
Yeah, I
in
know.
gaming.
Yeah, I noticed that like some of the biggest ones like with WoW, like a lot of the MMORPG scene, like Kaylin, you've sent me some stuff like that before, where it's like entire couples have like their entire marriage and their honeymoon on games like Final Fantasy 14, right? That was one of them. Like that's another big
Yeah.
one because that became a popular MMORPG lately, didn't it?
Final Fantasy, yeah. There's
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14 is huge.
even the streamers that I've seen, like the main streamer from WoW, it's Asmongold. He's even like calling it, like he was like, I'm going to try out Final Fantasy like 14 and see how it
It
is.
looks interesting, but I'm not really sure about like the financial investment of those types of games.
In those kind of games, I mean, you know what it is, like you're financially investing into them for like them to create more content based into the game, so that way you can enjoy those kind of like the gameplay itself.
Because I was looking at what's it called? I was looking at like a price chart,
Mhm.
and I didn't quite understand what you were doing with the money. I know you have to buy the base game, but I didn't quite understand what they meant with certain
Because it's that
things. There's multiple levels of it, right?
Yeah,
There's
so
multiple levels of purchasing the game, and then you pay for a membership.
yeah, you would be paying not only just for like the game itself, but you'd then be paying for the subscription. But like,
Okay, so is it a
How-
one-time purchase of the game, and then you pay for a subscription?
yeah, They do
Okay.
it. They do it in Guild Wars 2. In Guild Wars 2, like what they have, or what it used to be in the very first business model they had was you bought the game and the game was free forever at that point. Like everything that you owned within that game, it's yours. You keep it like it's forever free. Like once you get like you get all the options. They made it go free to play model though when they added expansions, but you can only get like 2 character slots, and then like some of the actual game from the base game was kind of like limited on some stuff. So like the opportunities you kind of have there like dwindle down, but you still get a very solid chance at doing a lot in that game. In that regard, you just don't get to do like DLCs. So if that's something that you can like live with, then like you can get away with it, and like that you can still have that enjoyment factor of it.
Yeah.
And that's the same case with Final Fantasy with their expansions and everything like that. So that's just how it works.
Another thing with how like these entire people like creating all their relationships and stuff. I noticed one thing with gaming that a lot of more antisocial people, they feel more comfortable connecting to people in games. Like I noticed that's a trend. Like they find it as like their kind of safe space to meet new people and friends and all that. Like I
Oh yeah, that's totally the case.
I consider myself a little bit of an antisocial person, and most of the other people I've met, they're a little antisocial. Like I mentioned before, Joey was he's one of my best friends, and he's a little antisocial, yeah, but games help him meet new people. Like he met all of us and everything through it. Met high school originally. Everything just grown from there, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we've said pretty much everything now, right?
I think we really come up with all. Yeah, I think every single bit of the topic was.
Yeah, we mostly said everything yesterday, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true though too. That was kind of brought up. It's just that like I feel like a lot of, like there's like an extent where like things do go like far enough though that like you have moments like that. So that's like kind of needed to like be brought into it.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's nice.
Yeah. So you guys want to call it for an episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to call it for the episode. I think that's good enough.
All right. All right. So what we got for the upcoming episodes? Okay. So because we had to switch the 2 episodes on July 9th, that will be our episode about music and video games. And then right after that, we've put in a new topic for July 23rd. We're gonna be talking about merchandise in video games, all the types that you find out there, posters, shirts, all that kind of stuff that's out there. So stay tuned for those, and we'll return for those with you guys. So I hope you all enjoyed watching, and have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of episode 8 of the GET podcast. And we're here again with me, Kalen, and John, continuing from last time. And another topic that we thought of, well, when we were bringing up how the domino effect of how, we have games connecting everyone, is how, John, your friend Joe, we met him through you when we played League when he came on for the Last of Us episode.
Yeah, my friend Joe honestly came back into my my immediate group of friends with the fact that he was like playing League for like a bit like recently, and he was like at the time like one of the only people I knew from an original group of friends that I had that was playing that game, that was playing it, and I knew he had an account. Next thing you know, like he never was on it again, like it disappeared, but I never removed him from my friends list at that point. Next thing, because like League allows you to like, have like a max number of like 200 plus friends or whatever the case might be. So anyways, he messaged me at one point, mentioned that he was still playing the game, and then I was talking to him for a bit, and I said, well, you know, why don't we get back together again, like try to get this group, like some kind of group going on, and as it turns out, that's where we've gone from there. In that regard, it's nice to have that moment to rekindle that relationship, though, because since it was like from high school, like you think, okay, it's been like about like 4 years after everything, so like you never know what kind of like pathways like people could have gone.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's really nice though, honestly. It's very wholesome.
Yeah, and through that, we've all met each other, and we've all pretty much played League all the time now. And even got him on for the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's great. It's such nice things to have.
Like you never know when it'll come back like that. And like
Yeah,
and like with that, like a lot of games they create like lifelong friendships like that. Like that's one great example of it.
yeah,
Like
you're definitely not wrong about that. I feel like a lot of the people I've met online have like been some of them like being like really chill, but like some like for League it's like toxic people. So like you just kind of like ignore those like people if that's not your kind of friend group that you're looking for. But like if you really find like good groups like that, I mean like and I think I said the first time around like the other day, but in like WoW it's like that's like kind of like what guilds are. Like when you make niche groups and stuff, like you build like relationships out of those groups. But even in those guild, like eventually you know like it's really interesting and because like I bring up WoW in this case, and this is probably the case in like with other games similar to WoW, but they actually have like people have like made like gotten like into relationships and stuff like online through WoW or like other games like this too. But in WoW, like they take it to the extent of like they meet up in real life and they go like you know these people start dating like outside in like the real world and it eventually ends up like getting them married and stuff like in real life, which is like honestly really cool that they can actually have that moment
yeah, like
because
it's
you never think something like that ever happens, but it does, you know.
yeah, like when you go to play a game like that, you're sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna have a fun adventuring around, meet some people, make a guild, have some fun. You never expect something as big as that. Be like, wow, I really want to spend my entire life with this person I've met just over a small video game.
Yeah, especially in the case with, I mean, you know, the community in like WoW, I feel like it's such a strong community though in terms of, like of relationship building. I mean, in the case of like one of the like like I'm saying in like life, I guess, right? Even in like I want to say like like in like I guess like marriage was like one side of it. Like even like on the other end, like if like the in the end, I guess, right? Like if people like passed away in real life, their characters were like end up being memorialized into the game by like some people, like you know by a guild or whatever the case is, who you were raiding with for like years on end,
Yeah, like
or even like streamers. In the case of there was a recent streamer that did this, I think about like kind of like recently, like last year or within this year even. His name was Wreckful on stream, and he was a rogue player in WoW to the point that he got when he passed away from like and he was young, but he passed away on his own end doing you know something that like he just couldn't like find it in himself to go through with whatever was happening at the time.
yeah,
So that happened with him, right? But his character, like the amount of people in the community that he had affected on Twitch, on WoW, in all regards of that, it was kind of like amazing for that. Um,
yeah, and the
to,
entire community recognized them after that. They just
yeah, exactly.
couldn't forget
They,
him.
especially the WoW like developers though too, because like to get put into WoW, you have to like honestly have like something like that has to be like really stand out. In the case of that character, um, like he's like he became like a class trainer in the game, and like class trainers don't really do anything anymore, but they kind of stand out as like a point of reference for certain things. So in the case he got put in as a class trainer, which was named Wreckful, I believe, and the whole thing with it is that like there's like classes in Rogue and like specializations of what you can become. When you talk to the character in game, it says that he only trains assassination rogues, and that was due to like a point in like his streaming career on Twitch when he was playing like the PvP mode in that game, where there's like arenas you do like 2v2s or 3v3s, and he wasn't even playing the optimal meta like of what his class could have been playing as because he just didn't like it and he wanted to do something on his own and prove others like that you can do the highest point of something if you just believe in it and you can push yourself for it.
Yeah.
So it's really like a role model at that point that you get to have something like that. So it's really awesome, honestly. I liked it a lot.
Man, 100%, 100%. And like there's other ones like with like that they've done with World of Warcraft, right? Like even people who just like when they do something funny that like one of the biggest memes, what was it in World of Warcraft? Leroy Jenkins. Didn't they put him in the actual game now, or they put him
Yeah,
in,
so
or was it
they
or was it Hearthstone? They put him in one of them. I know that.
they put him in both actually.
Put him in
I
both.
mean, they kind of made him like yeah. In WoW, they made him in an expansion as like a character you can like recruit for like a daily mission thing, kind of where like you can like use him as like a as like a unit to like gather you resources and stuff. But in Hearthstone, he's a card. He's a literal card that has been played in the game since the beginning of time. And even when his card got retired in the actual standard like card pack like of play, he was like even put into like I think he was like memorialized to a Hall of Fame card almost. Granted, it was a legendary card too, so like it's really hard to get as it is because you have to open enough packs to get it.
Yeah.
But two, like now he's in like the Hall of Fame because he was such a strong card in that game. You know, in the case of his card, it was like you can do 6 damage for free and like blow up someone's like hero, like the hero that you were playing as in that case, and like win the match. And having that kind of power is like really impactful for them. So it's really cool, honestly. That like they have those kind of moments. I'm trying to think. I think they even put in like I'm trying to think what else they might have threw in somewhere. Honestly, like another moment of this is I want to say like Borderlands 2, and in Borderlands 2 they threw in
Oh
a
yes,
character.
that's right. Yes, I totally forgot about that one.
They threw in a character who I think was going through a battle of cancer at the time, and even though he might have lost the battle, he was still memorialized into the game as a character that you would see in the hometown of Sanctuary, and you would see him there. And sometimes if you like if he it was all like based on like RNG if he spawned or not, I'm guessing. But if he did spawn in your town, if you walked up to him, he would give you like loot, like a very like strong piece of loot. Not like anything like legendary, or even like I think he had a chance to drop a legendary, but he would still give you loot that was like very like strong at any point in the game, and it was kind of cool. I didn't know who he was at the time though when I was like younger playing it. But finding out when I was like older, I was like, wow, I'm like, this is like really awesome that they actually threw this guy in here. Like, the game meant a lot to him. Like, the first game meant a lot to a lot of people. It was a different genre, different breed. A lot of people got brought into it where you were playing as like you know everyone's relationship. I felt like in that game were like okay, like if you play with a 4-man, it was always like all right, how many people? Like everyone's got to pick like one character of the 4 that they have, but you can't have duplicates of them. So like you can actually have that like you can play out that role of 4 people of that gang going at it. So honestly, it's pretty great in my opinion that they have like moments like that, and even like the rest of Borderlands, it's the same case. But like with the relationship building and stuff like that, a lot of cooperative games have that opportunity to give you that life and blood that you kind of seek in the cooperative environment, though,
Yeah.
and in like relationship building and all that like friendship, like achieving moments
Yeah, I
in
know.
gaming.
Yeah, I noticed that like some of the biggest ones like with WoW, like a lot of the MMORPG scene, like Kaylin, you've sent me some stuff like that before, where it's like entire couples have like their entire marriage and their honeymoon on games like Final Fantasy 14, right? That was one of them. Like that's another big
Yeah.
one because that became a popular MMORPG lately, didn't it?
Final Fantasy, yeah. There's
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14 is huge.
even the streamers that I've seen, like the main streamer from WoW, it's Asmongold. He's even like calling it like he was like, I'm going to try out Final Fantasy like 14 and see how it
It
is.
looks interesting, but I'm not really sure about like the financial investment of those types of games.
In those kind of games, I mean, you know what it is, like you're financially investing into them for like them to create more content based into the game, so that way you can enjoy those kind of like the gameplay itself.
Because I was looking at what's it called? I was looking at like a price chart,
Mhm.
and I didn't quite understand what you were doing with the money. I know you have to buy the base game, but I didn't quite understand what they meant with certain
Because it's that
things. There's multiple levels of it, right?
Yeah,
There's
so
multiple levels of purchasing the game, and then you pay for a membership.
yeah, you would be paying not only just for like the game itself, but you're going to be paying for the subscription. But like,
Okay, so is it a
how?
one-time purchase of the game and then you pay for a
Yeah,
subscription?
they do it.
Okay.
They do it in Guild Wars 2. In Guild Wars 2, like what they have, or what it used to be in the very first business model they had was you bought the game and the game was free forever at that point. Like everything that you owned within that game, it's yours. You keep it like it's forever free. Like once you get like you get all the options. They made it go free to play model though when they added expansions, but you can only get like 2 character slots, and then like some of the actual game from the base game was kind of like limited on some stuff. So like the opportunities you kind of have there like dwindle down, but you still get a very solid chance at doing a lot in that game. In that regard, you just don't get to do like DLCs. So if that's something that you can like live with, then like you can get away with it, and like that you can still have that enjoyment factor of it.
Yeah.
And that's the same case with Final Fantasy with their expansions and everything like that. So that's just how it works.
Another thing with how like these entire people like creating all their relationships and stuff. I noticed one thing with gaming that a lot of more antisocial people, they feel more comfortable connecting to people in games. Like I noticed that's a trend. Like they find it as like their kind of safe space to meet new people and friends and all that. Like I
Oh yeah, that's
like
totally the case.
I consider myself a little bit of an antisocial person, and most of the other people I've met, they're a little antisocial. Like I mentioned before, like Joey was he's one of my best friends, and he's a little antisocial, yeah, but games help him meet new people. Well, like he met all of us and everything through it. We met high school originally. Everything's just grown from there, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we've said pretty much everything now, right?
I think we really come up with all. Yeah, I think every single bit of the topic was.
Yeah, we mostly said everything yesterday, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true though too. That was kind of brought up. It's just that like I feel like a lot like there's like an extent where like things do go like far enough though that like you have moments like that. So that's like kind of needed to like be brought into it.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's nice.
So you guys want to call it for an episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to call it for the episode. I think that's good enough.
All right. All right. So what we got for the upcoming episodes? Okay, so because we had to switch the 2 episodes on July 9th, that will be our episode about music and video games. And then right after that, we've put in a new topic for July 23rd. We're gonna be talking about merchandise in video games, all the types that you find out there, posters, shirts, all that kind of stuff that's out there. So stay tuned for those, and we'll return for those with you guys. So I hope you all enjoyed watching, and have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good night, guys.